Maybe that's why
I was just thinking about the displays of that one because we don't got comments up either. Window.
I promise I'm just here for just a second.
We're not gonna sit here.
Real quick, brother. Thank you very much.
Yeah, that's funny. Nice block there. Okay, great example right there. Martin Kaut, I thought he'd been a little quiet these last couple games since the team got back from Finland, but that's a big block right there. He eats that puck right there, and that's a good example of what we were just talking about. A guy like him especially, who is not the flashiest player, he's got good puck skill when he gets into the right areas, but a guy like Martin Kaut has to find a way to leave his stamp every single night, and making blocks like that, being effective on the penalty kill is a great way for fringe players, I guess, if you want to call it like that.
Edge of the lineup for sure, yeah.
To get noticed without having to be big time contributors.
For sure, and it's critical for those guys to always be doing something, right? Because the reality is, when you're playing 8 minutes a night, you're gonna get one offensive chance, maybe two, and that's it. If you're not doing other things, it's not enough.
Yeah, and I thought that was a really timely conversation that I had with O'Connor, just given all the injuries and the influx of call-ups that we've got right now as this team now goes out on the road. And we talked a little bit about, okay, do you maybe see a guy like Sampo Ranta sent down on this road trip because he's maybe not as reliable in his own end? Like I said, I just thought it was a timely conversation because I think that's a good thing for people to keep in mind when you're watching these games with some of these guys coming in and out of the lineup. Are they finding ways to make themselves effective aside from the goal scoring? Because you make a great point, Rudo. In those limited minutes, you
only get so many opportunities.
Right. Yeah, just opportunities, let alone actual good scoring chances or anything. So no, honestly, we're less than 5 minutes into this game, and I liked what I saw there from O'Connor, and I liked what I've seen from Martin Kaut in their limited minutes, and that's what you need more of.
Probably not the start you wanted for the Avs, but the PK was great. Didn't really give them anything.
Nope.
Find a way to build momentum off of those things that you're doing outside of scoring goals.
Yeah, 100%. Getting our first look at Anton Bleed. technically made the team.
He played the 1 or 2 games to start the year. I think was it just 1? I think.
Did he? I didn't think he got into a game.
No, he definitely played at least 1.
Really?
According to Natural Stat Trick, he played at least 1.
I was just say, yeah, I trust that your memory works better than mine on that. Either way, that's got to be a penalty, right? All right, can we talk about England? Because I was surprisingly impressed with his skating the other night. I'm not going to say it was good, but he had one play in particular where he jumped in the rush. Play goes the other way, and I was impressed with his ability to get back into the play. I admittedly didn't know a ton about the mechanics of who he was as a player. I was impressed. I was impressed by what he was able to bring, given the role that they're asking him to play.
He certainly didn't look out of place. I'll put it that way.
You know who did look out of place? Andreas England right then.
Just
That's
that
who we were talking
absolutely
about.
did. Yeah.
I didn't hear any of this discussion. I was off in my own world over here. Sorry.
October 19th against the Jets. Anton Bleed, you were correct.
Not the first
I
game,
shouldn't
but a
have doubted Rudo.
a little bit of trust.
Wait,
a little bit of
so-
trust here.
So he's only been around for a loss? Why would you bring him back?
0-1, confirmed bad luck.
0-1.
True, it was an OT loss. You're right. You're right.
Show some respect. Jeez.
So he's got a 500 points percentage. That's not that bad.
You notice the Avs and Jets go into overtime a lot
They
against
sure
each other?
do.
Dude,
Yeah.
I take it personally.
That has been a team that the Avs, through all their different iterations.
Boy.
That's fantastic, D.
Yeah,
It really
He
All right.
almost got worked.
All right, yes, Barry.
He almost got worked there and recovered, but
It's Makar's ability to recover that I feel like makes him so elite. He can get beat, but
that's part of hockey's such a game of mistakes, right? And it's who can recover from them, who can overcome them. If his recovery is he can make that mistake and then figure it out from there, and that's what makes him such a different style of defender.
he had I believe it was the last game, or maybe it was 2 games ago. He was on a back check on a clear breakaway, and he didn't even look like in a rush. He was like, I gotta break this up real fast. Switched hands, quick poke check, curls in the corner.
Well, and most guys when they're getting back are very clearly hauling ass.
Right.
It's back skate time, and he's just I'll get there.
Yeah.
Oh, look, I got there.
Yo, this is one of my favorite commercials every holiday season, and I'm so happy it's back. I actually have a screen recording of it on my phone.
I don't think I know this
love
commercial.
this commercial.
what did you get? A bike?
Yeah, it's customizable home insurance from Liberty Mutual. Just absolutely kills me. It's like a play on the N64
Oh, yeah.
Christmas gift. I actually looked up Liberty Mutual rates last year because my policy renews this time of year. I was like, I'm looking at Liberty Mutual.
They have a commercial that I got stuck watching about 600 times while I was going through all 4 seasons of Heart of Dixie on Amazon, because it was the freebie or whatever. It wasn't so those, and it only had 2 ads. Liberty Mutual was one of them, and they were it was young people having fun with insurance.
Yeah.
And that's literally the song it was young people having fun with insurance.
Yeah.
And it's a guy jumping in a pool with a thing of Liberty Mutual, and he says, insurance! And he jumps into the pool, and you're just you know what? This is working.
Yeah.
This is actually funny.
Well, and have we had this conversation before? When did insurance commercials stop selling insurance and just get funny?
Yeah, just be nonsense.
It was the cavemen, right?
We've definitely talked about car commercials before, and how a car commercial can be anything. And if a commercial starts and you have no idea what's going on, your smart play is to bet that it's about a car.
A car commercial.
That by the end of it, they will be trying to sell you a vehicle.
But like the insurance one, I feel like it was the Geico caveman.
Yeah.
Well, and it wasn't just the cave. It was Geico's everything.
Yeah.
Because they had 10 different mascots.
Yeah.
They flooded the zone with just everything.
Yeah. I wish they would have kept the caveman. Those were all really funny.
They turned it into an actual TV
Series.
show that was the worst
It was very
television
bad.
that I
It
have
was
ever seen
very,
in my
very
life.
bad.
I couldn't imagine it was any good. I didn't. I love
It
the commercials.
was-
I didn't watch it.
It was actually like hard to watch.
Yeah. That makes
Somehow
sense.
it was worse than the.
Yikes! Bad drop pass.
That was, yeah.
I saw that coming a mile away. And here's McCarr again, just to get a stick in there and break things up.
Do you guys remember the Twitter account? It was like shit my grandpa says.
Yeah.
Vaguely, yeah.
That guy, and it was hilarious. That guy turned that into a TV show. That TV show was better than Caveman.
Bad drop pass.
And then Mac mishandled it.
Yeah.
And,
Well, I mean, part of the point of that drop pass is to get him out in space,
and it didn't do that at
and
all. Yeah.
because it's a bad pass,
He has to get on his horse to get
and
to the puck.
and
yeah.
then it's a regular like okay,
the guy's
well,
right on him.
Yeah, Martinook is able to
Well,
get
I was
on
gonna
top
say,
of
you
him.
You didn't put like McCarr didn't push anybody back with that
Right.
to free like that. That's when people complain about the drop pass. Like I get it at times, but
Well, aesthetically, it's awful to watch.
But it works.
but it makes total sense.
Yeah. Yep.
When it's executed correctly, and a team like Colorado is set up maybe better than any team in the league to run a play like that.
Well, and McKinnon in particular, I looked at the end of last year. McKinnon was like 15% higher on controlled zone entries than the next highest guy.
On the team?
Yeah, in the
there's
NHL.
Nice little
it's that
spin around
easy.
there from Lecky.
In the NHL.
Oh, shit.
He's that much better at it than everybody else.
This team drives me crazy because they just played a minute and 10 seconds of the worst power play you've ever fucking seen.
And the first unit scores.
And then they just, out of nowhere, take a puck away, make one pass, and it's in the back of your net.
They literally don't even have it set up.
Yep.
It never gets set
just
up.
chaos.
So
They
that-
just make a play, man.
I was going to say, that's the elite player thing. Like, Nathan McKinnon makes the play right there on the wall, and then you have a high-end forechecker like Lehkonen hounding the puck. And Evan Rodriguez looks real good these last 2 weeks, eh?
Yep.
He had, like, the first week of the season, you were like, oh, my gosh, what is this?
Yeah.
And ever since then, he hasn't looked back.
Yeah. No, he's been real good. I thought that was Lecky that punched that one in, but it was Erod. Hello.
What up? Yeah. There you go. Yeah, put it on. There.
Hi.
And we'll just talk about this live on air. So I can actually hear you. 'cause
So
it's loud
Evan
in here.
Rodriguez, 10 out of 10.
No, he's still butt ugly, but his goal scoring is not.
Oh, my gosh. He had his little kid out on the ice yesterday after practice.
Peter was tweeting.
I took a pic. I felt weird taking video of him out there with his kids.
It's a good call.
But
actually.
I had to take one picture as I was leaving. I was like, oh, this is so cute. Right as his kid just munched on it. And now I have like the iPhone live photo of it, of Evan Rodriguez's kid just taking a huge spill right in the middle of the ice.
My favorite player-kid story was when John Bernier was here.
Yes, dude.
And his kids were the cutest, and they were so into it. And his youngest, who couldn't have been more than 2 at the time, had a goalie mask that fit his tiny little 2-year-old head, and he would walk around in the locker room just wearing that. It was just he would just wear the goalie mask, and I was like, oh my God, I want one.
We're at a whistle here, Chad. I'll get you a time check in a sec.
I was telling the media room when we were all watching, because we were waiting for Jared to come up and talk, and Erod went out there. And I was telling him my favorite thing about stuff like this is always how tiny the gear is.
Yeah.
That's my favorite part of everything. It's just like these little tiny gloves and these little bitty skates.
Well, it was like the helmet that his 2-year-old was wearing, you could have turned it upside down, put ice cream in it, and eaten out of it, and sold it for $9 at Coors Field. It was like that small.
11:33, 32, 31, 30, 29, 28.
I just turned around and casually saw Milan hit it. And I was like,
They've been here a minute. That's why
They're just vibing back there.
Yeah.
I feel like I thought we'd have an MC by now on the mic.
That's you.
No, I cannot introduce all of these people.
I
would love to try.
You had a serious inquiry that we should probably figure out.
Game story and tweets are
Oh,
Did we do a little video recap?
a video?
I mean, I'll write. If nobody else wants to, I'll write something when I get home. I have no issues with that.
I was gonna say that'll be my biggest issue. Is just gonna like once we get in going on stuff, I just
Yeah.
kind of fall. I can tweet.
Okay.
Do you want to tweet?
No.
No, I can tweet.
All right. Tweets are handled, and I'll do this. I'll do the story.
I may need you to like pinch hit a tweet every
That's
now
fair.
and then.
No,
Okay,
I
It
can-
kind of
handle
depends.
that.
It kind of depends on where we are and what we're
Right,
doing.
right,
yeah.
right,
That's fair. 'Cause
Definitely.
It doesn't feel like there's a solid place to sit and work right now, and that was what gave me a little concern.
Yeah, that's why I ended up here. Is because I was like, well, I don't know where to be right now.
felt
See, this is why we need.
directionless.
This is why we need someone like Megan around to come around and ask these questions. AJ and I are like, nah, fuck it. There's a microphone. Someone want to hear me talk? What? Oh yeah,
Yeah.
sure. Yeah.
What's that? Other people can hear the sound of my voice.
So this,
I'm in.
I must go to my people.
Don't lie. This is a thing that happens.
My favorite meme. You son of a bitch. I'm in.
We, all of us do this, even when the podcast isn't on in the studio. All of us will go to say something while we're sitting in the chairs, and we'll all grab the
Yep,
mic.
we bring the
and
microphone
put it up
close
to
to
our
us.
face, even though it's not on. We're not talking to anybody.
Yeah.
Yo,
We were talking about the end of the world the other day, and I did that, and Rudo started laughing.
It's a thing I catch myself doing all the time.
Yeah.
And it's like, yep.
yo, this snow outside makes me want to vom.
Oh, dude, it's gotten for real. It was supposed to get for real, like tonight during it, but it was not supposed to be a day of snow leading up to it, and so that's when I was big mad about
I
it.
was disgusted when I woke up this morning.
I
Looked
bet.
out the window. And it was my own fault. It was my own fault.
Oh yeah.
Instead of turning the heat down, I turned it off last night. So it was like 57 degrees in my house. And I hated everything about that.
Okay.
He doesn't like
Really
being
the end
cold,
of it.
man.
Yeah, I was going to say.
I don't like being cold either, but like,
I like it. I think it's soothing.
I don't
That's why-
experience that.
no.
The cold or the soothe?
The cold.
You just opt out of it. Maybe just like, I just choose not to acknowledge
No.
It's all mind over
it.
matter.
It can't affect me if I just don't give it the time of day.
Yeah.
People don't believe in birds. Megan doesn't believe in snow.
Can somebody grab Allie or Lindsay
Yeah.
to come? Because I have a couple of questions.
We need to
Just
collab.
Yaya
Yeah.
can hear you. Just talk into the.
Oh yeah. Can we have an adult?
We need an adult here, adult.
Yeah.
They said we need an adult.
Yeah. We have.
We have some needs.
Sorry, I was trying to be more sneaky about it.
I recognize some for what it's worth. And if I know you're right.
We're at commercial
Anyways,
break
yeah, I was going to say.
for the moment, so
What were we just talking about? Oh, the snow and how much it sucks.
Yeah.
Yes, I'm actually really jealous I'm not on this trip in Carolina because
what is no?
I'm sure it is much nicer there.
This can't be real. Someone in chat saying the ideal indoor temperature is 57 degrees.
Ew!
Yeah.
Can't be right.
Kick him out, suspend him.
Wait a minute. Are we looking at Celsius or Fahrenheit? 'Cause that's going to be a really weird
It sucks
temperature.
either way.
I was going to say, I can, as someone who's a big warm weather person, I don't know if I'd like to keep my house at 50 Celsius. But 57 Fahrenheit? What?
Yeah, right. Like you're freezing to death at that point.
If anybody in there says, just get a blanket, it's like, no, I'm at home. I paid for this home. I want to be comfortable.
Let me live in my house.
Right, I don't want to have to wear layers at home.
67's still too cold, but you're at least in the ballpark.
Yeah, 67, I can deal with it.
Agreed. The correct temperature is 72.
See, I usually hang right at about 70.
Yeah,
That's where I try to hang.
that's we have it set to 68 because like heat's expensive, but
Yeah.
I don't have to like it.
Right, I was gonna say, yeah. If I had my own way, if I got like a 1-year Excel Energy gift card.
Frankie's looking good early.
Oh no, this is all maxed out, and I'm like lean way forward. No, okay. Oh, as I move the whole couch. All right, this is a mess.
72 is summer. That's the whole point.
What's that?
I want it to be summer.
You said 72?
Yeah.
Like the temperature?
Yeah, we're talking about temperature like in your apartment or your house.
Oh, yeah. When I was growing up in Texas, I used to get into a lot of trouble because I had a thermostat by my bedroom, and I would put it down to 75.
Whew.
And that was really cold. And I got in a lot of trouble because apparently that was really expensive.
I bet. In Texas especially.
Yeah. And I was like, you guys have unlimited money. You're my parents. What's the issue?
You watched 2/3 of the MC Hammer documentary?
Yeah, right.
If you only watch the first 2/3, you learn that the money never runs out.
Yeah. That's like watching the 30 for 30 broke.
Yeah.
And like Andre Rison's talking about all the dumb shit that he did with money until he had to file for bankruptcy.
Dude, who was the guy who talked about like being in the limo? And it just like turned into this like who can spend the most money, and there was a dude in the limo selling jewelry, and guys were spending like 6 figures on jewelry in the back of a limo their rookie years.
I don't remember, but wow. I listened to that documentary on my last drive back from Canada. Yeah.
I was gonna say, come on.
This game is weirdly low event so far, actually.
Dude, that's how last Saturday's
It was.
Where it's just like these are two really like high-flying teams.
Right, you
but
expect shots, but it hasn't been that way. And to be fair, there's been a decent amount of block shots and things like that, but you're used to seeing these teams put up 30, 40 shots a game, and they're on pace for 15.
Now the real reason that people are tuning in.
Not for us.
Yeah.
How's it going?
Good. Yeah, thanks for having me.
Yeah, no, thanks for coming down, Kyle. Did you drive was all right? Got in here okay?
I could almost walk here, so.
Oh, okay, all right, there you go.
And this is nothing.
Yeah, no, it was. I have a lot of trees in my neighborhood, and there were just some patches of like just ice.
No way.
Yes way.
I mean, it's a good call. I'm just disappointed.
But other than that, not too bad. Oh, yeah, thanks for coming down. Seriously,
Yeah,
happy to
for sure.
have you.
Yeah.
How have things been?
Things are good.
Yeah.
Things are good.
Good.
Yeah, I watched this game, Carolina at, that was a great game.
Yeah, real
Yeah.
fun
The
game.
one
coming
last
up, too.
week.
Yeah, it was good to see Staz again. We brought the kids down to warm up, flicking pucks over the
Did he?
glass. Yeah, it was good.
All right, so I'll be fully honest. I completely forgot that he had signed there
Yep.
this summer until I was up in the press box. I was like, oh yeah, oh my gosh. So no, good to.
No, the boys move around at the end of the career a lot, so you need to keep dibs on that.
Yeah, no kidding. Kyle Quincy joining us.
Yeah,
was-
officially.
I was gonna say-
the
Yeah.
official welcome.
Yeah, thank you so much. Early thoughts on this Avs team this year?
Oh, I love them. I think they're better, to be honest. If you remember the team I played on here was Craig Anderson came in.
Yep.
They gave, Eric was part of that, but gave him his first opportunity, as a starter.
Yep.
And you remember how good he was and how good a career he ended up having.
After that,
But this is the same situation where you get a goalie that's stuck behind another great goalie. Thank you. And, Grigoriev now has a chance to make a career out of it, right?
Yeah.
So it's do or die. It's do or die for him, and he'll play like it this year. I'm putting my stamp on that.
Are you? There you go.
I'm a big believer in giving people a chance, and I think he's going to run with it. So, and then you got to think Kale and Nate and all the boys, they're going to get better. They're only 20, whatever they are. Like, it's insane.
So we kept talking about that with Kale last year. Last year was Kale McCarr's first full 82-game season. It's just incredible.
Yeah. No, I truly believe that he has a chance to revolutionize the game of hockey from the defensive side. Bobby Orr obviously did it. The biggest, Bobby Orr didn't play very long.
Right.
So if Kale can do this for 10, 15 years,
Yeah.
now we're talking all-time best ever.
Right.
So
And then you throw in a kid like Byram. Sorry, I don't know.
Would you say Bobby Orr's best defenseman of all time right now?
right now, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, who else would be?
I'm just curious because if you ask, you'll get a Ray Bork or a Nick Lidstrom or some pretty good players
Oh,
too.
what a save.
Yeah, best of all time, kind of revolutionizing the game, I
Yeah.
guess, would be what Bobby Orr did. I played with Nick Lindstrom for a long time, and wow.
Yeah, he was unreal.
Yeah, and like the most unflashy player ever to play.
Oh, and is that part of what made him so great? Is that he made the game look easier than anybody?
Well,
It's such a hard position.
Efficiency.
Yeah.
Playing 35-plus minutes a game, not even breaking a sweat. Never got hit because he was never in a bad position. Those don't, those things aren't stats. You can't really tell about that. But, when your nickname's Norris, it's pretty good.
Well, the other thing that is crazy to me about a guy like Kale and then Byram, obviously he's out right now, but to the same extent is to your point about having the potential to revolutionize the game. I feel like usually, you have guys like Tyson Barrie who can move the puck, who can skate, but they usually kind of give a little bit back on the defensive side. Cale Makar is so good in his own end, and he's got a physical edge to his game that I can't remember a guy that plays the way he does while still having such strong defensive attributes in his own end. Is there anybody that comes to mind for you?
Well, he'll get better and better with doing that. When he first came in, it was almost noticeable how he wasn't very good at his own zone, to be honest. But that playing defense is an art, just like playing offense is an art.
Yeah.
And the details and positioning, and he'll get better and better and better. Like, I'm a better defenseman right now. I just can't move. I think the game better than I was when I was 22.
Yeah.
But if he can play until he's 34, 35, and skate, if he can keep skating like that, but his mind will make up for those, the couple split seconds he doesn't have when he's 35.
Right. For sure. Where's Megan at? Hey, Megan. I guess I got to run out and...
No, you're good.
Yeah.
You're good.
I'll be back. I'll be right back.
Always working out here.
I was going to say,
It's going to be a pretty fluid concept on the watch along tonight. A lot of in and out.
People will be moving in and out for sure today. So. Welcome back.
What
Thank
up?
you, guys.
How you doing?
Too. So you were at DU Pro Camp this summer.
This is one of the only summers I
You
wasn't
didn't go.
there.
All right.
Because I finally hung him up.
Okay,
Yeah.
that's valid.
Yeah. No, I trained at DU for about 10 years. So when, all those guys, Bozak and Stasny and, the Short brothers, all those guys, we trained with the current team. But last couple years, I've been not training
Looking
at
on.
all.
That's fair. Who are some of the best players you saw out at Pro Camp in the last previous years?
Well, it's fun, like Logan, I was there the day he signed. Troy Terry and Gambrell, when Drew was still playing, I was there when I was playing here in 2012.
Yeah.
So it's been a long time.
It's been a while.
What's it like seeing that new generation of NHL players? Are they a bunch of young whippersnappers, or are they changing the game?
It's a little different, just the culture around the game. My first D partner was Chris Chelios, and he taught me how to be a pro on and off the ice, and how to be a teammate, and how to it's a little different now. I will say that. So there's a lot nutrition and health and all that is a way bigger deal than it was, and there's a lot more money in the game to be made. So these young kids coming in, they're more dialed in on their health and fitness is what before when we used to do it, but we put a huge thing on going out as a team and bonding, and each game is kind of like going to war, and you have to have your guys back, and so that was a lot of going out to places like this and enjoying ourselves.
Yeah.
where now it's a little more video games and
Internal a little bit.
yeah, protein shakes.
Video games and protein shakes. Sounds like an amazing name for a book.
I don't know if I'd read it, to be honest.
Did you guys do the bad food take already?
We have not.
We have not gotten to that yet.
I got excited. You gave me a microphone. I came in hot.
But no, you brought it to the table.
Yeah.
Everyone we have on the show has to come up with a bad food take. So, for example, I put mayonnaise on burritos, and I love it. So something you like that people might think was gross in the food category.
Well, back to what we were just saying. When I was training, I was probably 19, 20, just started my pro career, and I would take a whole, gallon of yogurt, and then I would just dump a can of tuna in it. And it wasn't like
Yogurt tuna.
it wasn't that I loved the taste, but it was like very healthy.
Sure.
So yeah,
This was like you just ate the whole gallon, or did you
Yeah.
store it for later?
no, just eat
Just
it.
the whole thing.
Yeah, full can. Full
Wow.
thing, yeah.
Okay.
Well, you're 19, 20, burning
Sure.
10,000
You
calories.
go right
you know.
through it. Yeah.
That might be the worst.
That's
Worst
got to be
yet.
up there. That's got to be up there. For,
Any seasonings?
No,
was just plain yogurt,
That is a lot.
honestly, sometimes it'd be flavored. It'd be worse.
like fruit flavor or
Yeah,
something.
yeah,
on
yeah.
put tuna.
Oh,
That's
no.
pretty bad. That's
Yeah.
pretty bad.
Yeah,
Start picking out the strawberry. Like,
Yeah.
Oh
I
my
can't
gosh.
handle
yeah,
this.
yeah.
I don't know. Mustard on pizza probably still
That
weirder.
Both are good though.
well, and what was it? The like the bowl of mayonnaise with olives in it.
Yeah, that was someone
Like-
in our chat who had some like crazy.
Yeah, that was the one that gave me nightmares for a week. Yeah, mustard on pizza is also one that every time I look at a piece of pizza, I'm like, why would you do that?
Yeah, it's true. I'm a big mustard fan, and obviously pizza, but I still probably wouldn't try that.
Yeah, mustard is a thing that I gained a way bigger appreciation for later in life.
Yeah.
As a kid, it was a hard no-go. And then as an adult, I was like, this is pretty good. I put it on things. Never on pizza.
But like a
What?
solid, like heavy meat lovers with like heavy like sausage, maybe, maybe pull a mustard on there.
And then like fold the pizza in half.
Yeah, there you go. Like calzone.
Would ketchup be better or worse?
For that,
yeah.
it's so sweet, man.
Yeah, worse.
But
Yeah.
it's like you're getting close to like a burger at that point, though. Like
Yeah.
Yeah, from Canada, we put ketchup on most everything. So, ketchup on pizza is a no-go though.
just a bridge too far.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Well, it just seems like pizza's like we found the sweet spot. Like we got it right.
Yeah.
Pizza's good. You don't need to get wild with it. It's fine.
Yeah.
See people that'll dunk like a whole thing of pizza into like some ranch, and it's like a little bit of ranch, okay, but a grip of it, nah.
Been a rough one, kind
Yeah.
of for the Avs. They're getting dominated, but they're leading. So
Yeah, they just not spending very much time in the offensive zone.
1-0 on the road though. I'll take that.
Oh yeah, you get out of this period. It's a good road period.
So good teams, right? They find ways to win,
Yeah.
and this is a perfect example of that. Where
Yep.
your goalie, your backup goalie is going to have hopefully steal you one tonight, and then now like Carolina's go back into the locker room right now and be like, all right, now what do we change? We outshot them 11-3, and Colorado's saying we didn't have a great period. We can only get better.
Got more in the tank.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I always forget Slavin is from here.
Yeah.
I knew him while he was at CC. Great person, even in college.
Even in college.
No, it
when
requires
most of us are
stipulation.
monsters.
No, it really does. The culture of that team that year too was so awful, but he was a bright spot.
That's cool. That's kind of what Lacroix hockey is building, right? Because Colorado it's absolutely a hockey town, but you don't see that many NHLers, big league players from Colorado. There are some,
That program too has had maybe more struggles turning out pro players like that.
for sure.
Try to hide your glee.
Just
As a
a
pile over
little bit
there.
of a shiv, just a small shiv.
I didn't mean it.
Yes, you did.
Sorry, are you Denver alumni?
Yeah.
Nice.
I went to school with Drew Shore's little brother, Quentin.
Oh, okay, yeah, I know Q. Yeah, no, I coached Slavin's brother.
Josiah?
Yeah, yes, I think so. Great family, very religious, very.
That was my impression, too.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Carolina is a very good team.
They are.
They are really good.
Yeah. But
They've long been a really good example of the whole being greater than the sum of its parts. You know, where just as a team they play really good collective hockey. They buy in. And then you get to the postseason and you kind of need that little extra push, and that's where they've struggled.
Especially the goaltending injury.
That's so tough.
Caved in.
yeah.
I think Rod Brendamore is very respected and great coach.
Yeah.
So that makes sense that he's got all the guys pulling in the right direction.
Yeah.
Definitely would never disrespect someone with muscles like that.
Rod the bod, baby.
Yeah. That's a guy that you don't cross.
Definitely not trying to make that dude angry.
Yeah. First intermission, Megan, you have a...
So I do have to see if Clarkson arrived.
Oh, okay.
Where did Jesse go?
He's around somewhere.
Yeah.
It's all good.
Everybody's kind of hanging about.
PS chat, we have a bunch of amazing silent auction things going on here tonight. If you didn't make it out, you're missing out.
Yeah.
Including things like team signed 2022 Stanley Cup.
Yeah, the 96 team signed
jersey
T-shirt.
T-shirt for 96, jersey for the 2022 team, I believe.
Yeah, and then I didn't know the 400 straight sellout jersey even existed.
Yeah.
One of them was made.
That is a one-of-one jersey. So
didn't even know. That's so cool.
Yeah, that's cool.
So I'm curious, how did you end up deciding that this was going to be where you nested, where you made home?
It was all timing. So when I got traded here from LA, 23, I was drafted by the Red Wings, coming from Toronto. Finally, made a decent contract that I could afford a house, and it was kind of like, okay, I know Michigan. I'm not going back there. LA was way too much fun, and Toronto, I was kind of done living at home. So this was a perfect kind of medium, like kind of central to a lot of different things, and then just fell in love with the weather and the people, and DU having a great setup and having Matt Shaw being an amazing trainer there and having those guys to skate with all summer. It was an easy kind of decision. And once you're here for that long, and it's been 12, 14 years now, I'm not going anywhere.
It just kind of gets into you, right? And
yeah.
You just don't want to leave.
Yeah, I got a great collection of some awesome network here, so we're good.
Allows you to do things like this on a random Thursday.
Exactly, I got really involved in the Avalanche Alumni Association.
Yeah.
Still work for the team as kind of an ambassador. Do a lot of community relations stuff. So just absolutely loving Denver. I couldn't tell you what my favorite season is, but oh, shit.
Okay, what do we got?
Am I allowed to keep talking?
Yeah, no, keep going.
Keep
You're
going.
good.
Oh, who was that waving at me? Or was that you?
That was a friend of ours, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. She was saying hello.
Oh, okay, sorry. I thought she was like, shut up.
No.
Stop talking.
No.
Yeah, just the four seasons and everything that's why I'm here.
It's a beautiful place for sure.
Yep.
What's it been like seeing the Avs organization evolve since you're still involved with all of that?
Yeah.
Interesting. I've been to a lot of different teams around my career. But, just how this one's run and, Joe coming in and building it from, the core out. It's awesome. Like the people they have involved in the team right now is amazing. And, you got to remind the fans that this is maybe once in a lifetime. Well, it will be once in a lifetime that you have one of the best defensemen on the planet and one of the best forwards on the planet. So enjoy it, people.
While it lasts. Yeah.
Second in our lifetime because we got really, really spoiled with
Yeah.
the sack
That's
at
true.
Forsberg.
That's true.
Going into McKinnon and McCarr, and it definitely is one of those things, where there are fan bases that have gone 40, 50 years and not gotten to experience a cup, and we just got to watch the third one in 25 years.
Yeah. Like playing on some of those Red Wing teams is pretty insane.
Yeah.
The talent. Some of those guys weren't in their prime per se when I got there, but these guys are right in their prime together, which is great.
It's rare. I mean, that's the kind of core that they could put a couple of them together and be one
Push
of the
for a dynasty style. Yeah.
be one of those defining teams of a generation.
Well, I'll ask you guys, how's Footy doing so far? Yeah, I know he's a rookie at this stuff, but what do you think? You can be honest.
So we're the wrong ones to ask
Yeah,
on this one because we do most of the games like this, and so we don't hear it. We don't listen to a lot of it.
Well, and we do our own post-game show.
Yeah,
while,
we do
while
all
they're
our
doing
own
theirs.
stuff.
So
He looks good, though, I guess. That's half the battle.
Yeah.
got me beat in that category at least.
I mean, the nose is always the nose, right? It's the classic,
Yeah, it's not getting smaller, that's for sure. Or straighter. No, it looks good, though.
Yeah, no, it's cool to see, obviously Peter's passing sucks.
Yeah.
It's awful. But it's interesting to see Altitude kind of rotating some guys in and out of there.
I think
guys
Footy
that we
was
recognize.
kicking it down the road and figuring out that was what he was wanting to do. And then I think, the opening kind of kickstarted that a little quicker than, maybe either of them wanted. But there's an opportunity for him, obviously. Big shoes to fill with Peter, obviously.
Yeah.
But I think everybody will step up just like any other team would to fill gaps.
Yeah. Yeah, it seemed like he had the kids. He had Nolan and Cal for a little while, and then
Well, they're grown men now.
now they're all drafted and off
yeah.
doing their own thing, and then
He did a good job with them.
I think he coached for a year in Kelowna.
He
a year
did.
or two.
He
got
did.
fired eventually. But,
They all do, right?
Yeah, but
every coach does.
Yeah.
what is it like? Wow, the only guy that just walks out and just
Yeah, true.
is like,
Yeah.
see ya.
On his own terms.
Yeah. Otherwise, coaches are hired to be fired, right?
That's true.
Just happens.
But yeah, he was doing some development stuff with Tampa at one point too, I think.
I think he
yeah.
was doing it through the agency.
Yeah.
Kurt Overhart. So he was helping. Like Jacob Trouba would be his main guy that has flourished into a captain, right? So
Look at how Trouba plays.
so Footy was a mentor to me, and how he taught me a lot of stuff, how to be a pro and a leader, and then how to play the game the right way as a defenseman. And then he just did that after he retired for others on different teams. So it worked perfectly for him.
Yeah, I mean, what's your plan? What do you got going on for the next few years? You gotta.
I do a lot of stuff with charities. So the Avalanche Alumni Association, myself and John Michael Lyles, we do a lot of work with them. Well, that's kind of our baby that we took from Kroenke Sports Charities. And so we work with partnership with them to give back to the game of hockey that gave us so much. A lot of mental health stuff and kind of make sure that our guys and our ex-players are in a good spot.
Yeah.
You'd be kind of surprised that after we retire, it's not the easiest transition back into I guess, civilian life, to say it that way.
Well,
but
and you say back into it, but you guys never really grow up in it. Like you.
Yeah, no,
you
we're
get
trained.
drafted and you're pro
Yeah,
at 19, 20.
We're trained weapons from 15. Like I played semi-pro junior at 15.
Yeah.
So. So when you're doing something for 20, 25 years, and all of a sudden they're like, yeah, no thanks, we're good. You can go on your way. We're creating a network and a community for these guys to, have a purpose and have something to do after they're done playing.
How has that been to see kind of the mental health side of things develop from, say, your playing career when you got here 2012 to today?
Well, yeah, like I was kind of naive to it, and I don't know, if it was a buzzword like it is today. Concussion, I can remember that word being the first time when I had one when I was 15. But there's a lot of compacting factors that is creating the mental health stuff right now for the hockey guys and pretty much everybody going through the bullshit we went through the last 4 years. But in hockey, you got TBIs, traumatic brain injuries. That is almost everybody. Different brains react differently to different concussions.
Yeah.
And then the biggest one that we're dealing with is, another one is like the opioids and stuff, right? Like if we have 4 or 5 back-to-back injuries that require those pills, and trust me, like I'm a big natural medicine kind of guy, but my shoulder injury, there was no option. Like I had to take those Percocets to get through my day and to do the healing process. So if you do that, back to back to back, and you start liking those things, and at the time, before Heath Ledger, before Bugard, before these other guys were dying, we didn't know any better.
Yeah.
We were getting them from the hockey team, and we thought, a guy in a white lab coat, a doctor, was end all be all. Whatever he said was right, and then you had all these guys dying.
Yeah.
And when we're taking 2-3 Ambien a night, also, and then you're drinking 5-10 beers, boom, and we didn't know that.
Yeah.
So, big part of what I do is education and educating guys that there's other options other than, and educate yourself. Like when they're giving you the anti-inflams and the all the medicine that we need to do our job, you got to understand the pros and cons to it, right? So if you take, Toradol every day for 2 months, you're gonna have a colitis. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's just what it is. But no one told us that.
Yeah.
But we can go through a cement wall on Toradol. You won't even feel it. But so it's a lot of education, and we're leaving the game in a better place. That's for sure.
Is there a group of you guys that's actively working on educating younger
mostly
players?
These guys all behind me. So John Michael Lau is our president. Myself, I'm the vice president. We have John Mitchell on our board. Rick Barry, Milan Hayduk's a big part of it. Adam Foote. Joe's involved when he can.
Yeah.
But Eric Lacroix's on our board. Kenny Klee. But trying to create something that these guys, stay here. So my goal is to have Landy and all these guys stay here when they're done. Mm-hmm. I think Eric Johnson is going to stick around. But just creating somewhere, and it's not even, it's not just Avs, right? We got David Clarkson, Derek Armstrong. Yeah. We got guys that played really good careers in other teams. But a lot of charity stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I think it's awesome because it is one of those things, they do give you guys opioids to get through it, and it's not necessarily in your best interest.
No, it's just educating yourself, right? Like, and it's you have to figure out what to do your job, and then you have to figure out I want to make sure I walk when I'm 60 years old. So
you have the rest of your life to look at too.
Yeah. So I'm working on the side to figure out, give the guys some more options to mental health wise and pain wise. So
is that like an official thing that you're doing?
It's I was a big part of Prop 122, getting that across the goal line. I do a lot of stuff with. I'm a big believer in THC, CBD, stuff like that. I have to be in really, really rough shape to take a white pill these days. I'm going the other route, to be honest.
It's totally understandable.
It's all about education.
Yeah,
it's all
really
about it. There's a stigma around some of the stuff that we're talking about. So people, and hockey's a very old school. Guys are tough as nails. They'd rather just drink 25 Bud Lights, and they'll be fine. Yeah. They've been doing it for years. But the transition and the mental health stuff, sometimes the Bud Lights don't really help the situation, right? So And then I actually work for PointsBet too. I know you guys are on DraftKings, so I shouldn't say that, but
it's all good.
I won't pump it too hard.
You work for who you work for.
Yeah.
Well, and at this point, I mean,
But it's an amazing time to be alive here, where we live in a place where all the stuff we're talking about, with if it's Prop 122 or if it's the THC, CBD, all that stuff, we're in the forefront, and we're also in the forefront of legalized sports gambling. So I'm kind of on the verge of a lot of different stuff, but it's really exciting. I get to educate people on sports betting and what a parlay is, what's points betting, what's a teaser, what is, money line, puck line, all this different stuff.
Yeah.
And it's an entertainment product.
Yeah.
Right? So it's
A parlay is also known as a giant money pit.
exactly
Suck you in.
I'm not. Yeah.
Well, that DraftKings has started doing you can parlays now.
We do that too.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know if I will ever hit a bet.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
But it's crazy. Like I'm a casino host, right? So clients will text me when they hit that 6-7 gamer, but I can see their account. I'm like, okay, congrats, But like, you got me,
Yeah.
But again, it's you got to take yourself with a grain of salt. You're not solving the world's problems. You are creating an entertainment product and making it known, understanding that this is an entertainment product. Use it as such. If you're trying to use it for your mortgage, that's not the play. Don't do that.
Yeah.
it's something for fun, for sure.
Exactly.
You have to be very comfortable
And
not having that money anymore.
Yeah.
My what I do on a daily is take people, show them from the old school bookie way and meeting their bookie every Monday at a bar or whatever, at a Denny's, so credit compared to not credit, right? So there's pros and cons to both, but I'll never have to chase anybody for anything because they have to put that in their account first before they can bet it. Yeah. Where the other way was like, hey, I'll take $2,000 on the Avs tonight, and then they don't cover, and then oh shit, I don't have $2,000.
Yeah.
So
now we have to break your legs.
And you're chasing it. Yeah. I don't like doing that stuff.
You don't like breaking legs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just take people to games and give them free money. That's what I would do.
Well,
this way?
What was it like watching a guy like EJ get a cup? How much that meant to him.
Yeah, just all of them. You know, EJ has a pretty crazy story how he came and his start of his career. Like if you remember his first year in his career, most people would have been kind of like maybe done after that.
Yeah.
And then, getting traded as a first overall pick, coming to a team that was not very good, and then staying power. Like when I think of Eric Johnson, I think of staying power. Like it's very hard to make it to the NHL. It is so hard to stay. You got people coming for your job. You had how many different management people came in his career. He was always the guy. He was always, we're going to keep him. When a lot of guys will come in and be like, I want all my guys.
You look at what Kyle Davidson did in Chicago this last summer, cleans out all those guys. Even guys that a guy like DeBrincat that maybe they shouldn't have been in a hurry to move, but he was like, all the previous regime is going, and if Kane and Taves want to leave, they can go too. It is kind of incredible to see that EJ did get through a couple of different eras.
And he's had some gnarly injuries, and he's playing great hockey right now. I played with him, so like I've he's a better player than he was back then. Now,
his postseason run was awesome to see. His game
and
just
his
found a different
role,
level.
right? So like when he first came in the league, he was the guy. He was power play, penalty kill, everything, and he's not. That's not his role. His role is to be a pro every day, and guys like Makar and Byram and all these, even Manson come in, and this is how you be a pro. This is how you play defense. This is the position you're in. Don't make boner plays, turnovers. Like keep giving it to our forwards. They're awesome. I'll just give it to them.
Yeah.
Right. Don't do too much. And he's definitely gotten a lot better at that through his career. He's playing great right now.
Yeah, it has been an interesting evolution where, his career is also so many what ifs. You know, he has such a great rookie year, and then the knee injury with the golf cart and everything, and
Well, it's all timing too, right? Like,
Yeah.
why am I sitting here with you? Like, I got traded for Ryan Smith
yeah,
because in LA, the Lombardis and the Hextall was like they just wanted him. Like we heard his name before I got traded. Like they just loved that player.
yeah,
So it worked out that I got to come here.
yeah,
Right, and it's all timing. And then I got traded back to Detroit it's all timing. How I started my career is a crazy story. We won a cup in 08 with Detroit. I was 11th on the depth chart. Like
yeah,
they kept 2 guys over me because they could play forward and D, and they were maxed out at the salary cap. So I got put on waivers the same day Jack Johnson blew out his shoulder. They needed a left D man.
Yep.
I have a bad back. I get there. I fail my physical. They threatened to send me back to Detroit. I convince Dean Lombardi to give me 1 game, and I go on a 13-game point streak. And then I had my best year. I had 40 points in 60 games as a guy that got put on waivers. Ended up being one of the top Ds in Drew Doughty's rookie year in LA.
yeah,
And then I got traded and then become the first number 1 D here.
yeah.
And it's all timing. Like if Jack Johnson doesn't blow his shoulder out that night, I don't get picked up by LA.
Yeah.
Right?
Second
And I
period.
don't have that opportunity.
Yeah.
Second period is underway, chat. Do we have a clock up? Okay, I don't have to do time checks. Awesome.
Do we have a clock? Nice.
Yeah.
Much easier.
Yep.
That's like the unlikeliest of starts too. I mean, guys that get picked up off waivers, there's no expectations.
Yeah.
You know, it's
No, I went from Detroit to should have been a dynasty if you remember that era.
yeah, those guys were really
lost,
good.
They lost to Pittsburgh at home in Game 7 in 09. Should have won that. And then 07, we lost to Anaheim, Western Final. 30 seconds left, Game 5. Probably should have won that. Could have won 3 in a row. So
It's crazy how thin that line can be sometimes.
yeah.
Between that kind of, the breaks that you get along the way, the Avs.
I played with 20, 30 guys in the American League that were way better than I was. They had all the tools. They never got that shot.
Yeah.
Or they got the break and then didn't make the best of it. Or all these ifs, like you were saying.
Yeah. Well, and I mean to get a shot like that, and you said you went on a 12, 13 game point streak.
Yeah.
Like
that's do or die time.
Yeah.
That you have to. Like if I didn't have a good game, I wouldn't be sitting here. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah, we talk on the show a lot about young guys and opportunities and development and all that, and because they've got some guys who've been in their system for a while. That's one of them right there, Kaut.
Yep.
Been first round pick, been in the system for a while, has not worked out for him, and now here they are like 4 injuries deep, and he's finally getting 10, 12 minutes a night instead of 6. Yeah, the 6 minutes that he wasn't even 6.
So he has a week or 2 before these injuries come back to prove
Yeah.
himself. And again, you're a prospect, you're a project, and you're a suspect. He's in the project mode right now.
Mm-hmm.
After another couple weeks, he's had his shot.
Yeah.
If he doesn't make it work here, he's done, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Right, and that's how thin it is. Because
Yep.
there's 2 or 3 more Martin Kauts coming.
Yeah.
Right? So, I was placed with, I think was it Timmins?
Connor.
He was an 11th overall pick, D-man. Like, long
that was
time
Siemens?
ago. Siemens, sorry.
Yeah.
Duncan.
So they were trying, so I was his D partner at camp a couple years, and it's like, they're giving you every opportunity
Yeah.
to make it. Like, this is your chance. And some guys, they never take it. Or
Yeah.
they never
It doesn't
do
ever
right?
click.
And there are some guys that are deserving that never get the chance.
Mm-hmm.
So
It is interesting to see, too, the way that the AHL has changed over the last 10, 15 years. You know, it was such a rough and tumble league for a long time, and you know, there was a concern. You send a prospect down there, that guy might get his head taken off.
For sure. And yeah, I was in that. We call it the jungle for a reason. If a kid came down and wasn't ready, I would actively target him, and because I need to make a name for myself. And if a guy wasn't ready for the jungle, we'd let him know right away. You know,
Became obvious real quick.
Yeah, but yeah, we did 4 and 5 nights. We did 15-hour bus rides, sometimes more. Now they do the divisions so they don't cross over. The California division is an absolute walk in the park.
Oh, it looks like AHL luxury.
Yeah, so it was a lot different from when I was there.
Yeah, because the AHL was a lot of New England, Northeast, East Coast. There weren't a lot of Western teams.
The
back
East
then.
were with Lake Erie back then, right?
Yeah, so they were in our division. I was in Grand Rapids.
Yeah.
So I played 200 games in Grand Rapids. But when we went to the East, they had like 7, 8 tough guys that you're like begging and like you're grabbing a killer.
Yep.
Just to say, hey, I got my fight out of the way because you didn't want the other guy to grab you.
Because it would have been worse.
Yeah. I was like, I'll get beat up in the first and just get it over with.
How do you feel as a player that played through kind of the transition from the Cody McLeod, like every team had like a designated enforcer, if you will, to these days where the role it's pretty sparse. It really may not even exist in the way that it did.
The role might be gone, but the whole concept of the role, it can't leave. If you do that, hockey will be in a worse place, in my opinion. A guy like me would be a perfect example. Like I played really hard, and my job was to let the other team know. So if I'm playing against Carolina right now, I would be all over Aho and Shvestikov, and I would just be all over them.
Make their night suck.
But if I cross that line,
they're coming back.
There has to be a guy on that team to come and remind me that I've crossed that line.
Yep.
If there's no one to answer the bell for them, I'm very effective. But if someone's going to come over and beat the wheels off me, I'm not as effective. So if you need to protect your stars in every single sport. So you need to have that guy, right? So, and I think McDermott's playing great. I have a lot of time for him. But like the Luciches and like Landy should not be. You do not want him fighting as much as he has been, right? In past, like
McKinnon, even. I mean,
well, no, no one's like. You still got to play the game of hockey, right?
Yeah, of course.
But to someone to go and remind their fourth defenseman that is tough in his own mind, right? To go in and it, perfect. And again, you can't just show up and fight. If you get your wheels beat off, it's going to hurt the team.
Yeah, of course.
Right? Momentum. So, all right, guys, thanks for having me.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you for hanging out.
Do I need to leave?
No. Is Rudo going to the bathroom?
Huh?
Is Rudo going to the bathroom? She can't hear me. Don't worry about it.
What?
I said, is Rudo going to the bathroom?
No, he just wants to get more abs people on here. So.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. They're just chatting. Then we'll get someone else on here.
Yeah.
Hi, everyone.
How was intermission? How did the game go?
Yeah, Megan, how'd it go?
I think it
All
went
right.
okay.
You don't see.
There were mic issues.
How's it going, John? How are you, man? It's good to see you, man. So, how's life?
It's good.
Yeah?
Yeah, it's going well.
How's the altitude gig?
It's cool. That was only my first time doing it on Monday there, but it was fun. I enjoyed it a lot.
Yeah, it's weird. I have now been around covering the Avalanche long enough that you're one of the first guys that I've seen transition into retirement and stick around. So it's like I got to talk to you in a locker room, and then at something like this, it's cool to see that you're still here. And I'd be curious to know, what was it about Denver that you just said, yeah, I'm happy here?
Well, before I signed in Denver, I didn't know anything about Denver, really, And then I moved here and, obviously played for the Avs and just fell in love with the vibe and the city. Not even so much the city, but just the Colorado vibe.
Yeah.
I mean, the weather's unbelievable, let's be honest, right? You still get 4 seasons, which is cool. We're driving here today, and it kind of feels like I'm back home, Toronto area.
Yeah.
But, if this happens in Toronto this time of year, that snow is going to stick around for 3 months.
Yeah.
Where here, it's gone in 2 days.
Yeah.
That's nice.
It is nice. It is.
I like that. I like the sunshine, all that good stuff. So.
Yeah. Did this just cut out? Oh. I'm getting ready to spend the next month in Winnipeg, where my wife lives, and so I'm very jealous of. She tells me, she's like, oh yeah, it just snows. It's been snowing every day, and it just sticks there. The snow shows up, and it's just there for the next 5 months.
Yep.
I'm trying to enjoy the last rays of sunshine, and then it snows on us.
Yeah, you better get outside because you're not going to see sun for a while.
I know it, man.
For a month.
Yeah.
Until I come back.
Day.
You might get one day.
Yeah.
You might get lucky and get 1 day of sunshine up there.
Maybe it'll be the day that the Avs are in Winnipeg, so I can actually enjoy it, soak it all up.
There you go.
Man, that's tough.
That's a nasty shot, though.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that being his blocker side, that's a lot tougher. Also, it's Sebastian Aho.
He's been hungry. He's been looking for it all game.
That's a hell of a wrist shot right there.
Yeah.
That's a little drag and around, and bang. I think he drags it around just to get it past the D-man. Just enough. Just enough. That's bar down, too, no? Tink. Oh, yeah.
Yep. Nasty.
I don't care what goalie you are. That's a really tough save.
Yeah.
Through all those guys, all those people.
Yeah.
A shot like that.
Tracking the puck on the ice there is impossible.
And he's had a lot of chances tonight, Aho. Just from the little bit that I've been watching, been able to watch. He's had some opportunities.
Yeah, I mean, Frankie's played great tonight. No.
He has, actually. Well, I mean, look at him. He's got 19 shots, and we're not even halway through the game.
Yeah.
He's definitely
They're going to have 40-plus shots, without a doubt.
Yeah.
Need the Avs to get in gear a little bit on offense. Blaze can make some money.
Yeah, some goal support.
Got some work
for
to do there for sure. Yeah.
Oh yeah. What are we talking bets here? What kind of bets we got going?
Yeah, we got Antti Ranta 26.5 saves, so took the over.
Okay.
With McKinnon getting 5 of those.
Yeah, McKinnon has to hit the over on 4.5. So.
Right.
Well,
that was like the Avs last year. I didn't mind betting on the Avs last year.
It was so easy.
I would just wait. I'm like, please let a goal in. Please let a goal in. Please let a goal in. And sure enough, they let the first goal in. And then it was like, all right, hammer the Avs. Because they would come back and win every game.
Yeah.
So that was kind of easy money. They're not having quite the same luck this year, which I get. They got a lot of injuries, right? So.
Oh yeah.
There's not much you can do about that.
Go ahead.
When I was looking for the questions ahead of time, I didn't know if I'd be talking to you in Clarkson. Are you doing coaching this year with Okanagan Hockey Colorado?
Yeah, with the Okanagan Hockey Colorado. So David and myself and Eric Lacroix is involved as well. We brought a team that originated in Penticton, British Columbia, here. So Okanagan, they have 5 academies. They have 3 in Canada, 1 in Austria, and they had 1 in the UK, but because of Brexit and COVID, they basically shut down that operation there. So we're the first U.S.-based Okanagan Hockey Colorado team here, and we have 1 age group right now, so it's 14-year-old kids. I was fortunate enough to coach a bunch of the kids that are on this team this year, last year. Some of them were I was helping coach Colorado Thunderbirds program. And so we brought some of the kids over to Okanagan, Colorado. And it's been great. It's been really awesome. We give a quality of life back to the kids. And I don't want to say that kids playing AAA don't have a quality of life. They do, but we don't have practices on weekends. We might have some scheduled games on weekends. We have tournaments on weekends that we would go travel to. But, we practice Monday through Friday, we're on the ice at 2:30. Most of the kids go to Arapahoe High School, and then some of them are still in 8th grade, so they go to a school called Aces Academy, which a woman named Brooke Wilfley, she created this school, brick and mortar. She has done an absolutely phenomenal job with this, and she's had to jump through a lot of hoops and a lot of tough nights, but she's been phenomenal. But just to give, like I said, that quality of life back to these kids, where they practice at 2:30 to 3:45. They're either in the gym doing video or study hall or something like that from 4 to 5, and then we're done. And then their parents come and pick them up, or I drive some of the kids home, and everybody's home by 5:30. So these kids can go and have dinner, with their mom and dad, or whomever, every single night. And it's tough because a lot of AAA programs, they've got practice right in the middle of when you would normally have dinner. 6 o'clock, 6:30, and some of the older kids, they're not practicing until 7:30 at night, 8 o'clock, and they're not getting home till 10.
Yeah.
So it's just, it is what it is with that program and how it goes. But I'm just thrilled with the way it's gone so far this year. We have a great group of kids, really good families. So it's been awesome.
It seems really like an extension of the way that hockey is growing in Colorado too. Did you see the Hockey Capital USA title that was given this summer?
Right, yeah. It was given to Colorado. There was the 4 teams. There was the high school. There was DU. Obviously the Avs. I wanted to say that at the end, and now I'm missing the 4th one.
You'd be right either way. I'm pretty sure it was the junior Avs was the other team, their junior team. So.
Was it? Oh, yeah. Okay.
Oh, yeah, the ones that went to Quebec and won that.
Yep.
Yeah, exactly. That's right.
Yeah. So, and the Eagles had their best showing yet. So.
Yeah, in their history.
Yeah.
I've never been to an Eagles game, but I heard it's a pretty good time.
You gotta go.
You've got to do it, man. It is such a good time.
Is it?
Yeah.
It's a really loud building. Those people really blow it out for every game.
Yeah,
the cowbells.
Like they do really well too with their attendance.
Yep.
From what I
think they're expanding as a result of it being so good.
Well,
that is
the whole thing they're building out there is crazy.
We're not going to talk about Kale McCarr's massive reverse hit right there.
It's just par for the course for him. It feels like.
Yeah, but now he hurt. Now he looks hurt though.
That's not great.
I don't know who he hit, but he blew him up. But I hope he's not hurt because of it.
Oh, man.
That might be one injury too far for the Avs.
No, I don't even want to utter it.
Yeah. You can't have that guy going down. So yeah, we run our operation out of Family Sports, which obviously is the Avs practice facility, and then Eric, David Clarkson, and myself, we created the gym that's inside of Family Sports, the drill house.
I did see that new. Okay.
Yeah.
Boy, has that gone quite the makeover
not
there.
Lollipop Land anymore.
Yeah, it's not Lollipop Land anymore. Well, when I retired,
look, Lollipop Park was the shit. Okay, I loved going in and seeing the little the carousel every day.
Yeah. Well, I mean, COVID hit and nobody was going in there, and then I guess the guy stopped paying his rent. And
whoops.
See ya.
See you later. So that opened up a great opportunity for us. Because when I retired, I wanted to build a more of a hockey-specific gym for kids to come to, because there just wasn't anything like it, or at least not that I was aware of in the Denver area. And so David and Eric and myself, we put our heads together and came up with that little area, and it's been great for kids. We have our summer camp. We had our first summer camp last year, and we had over 120 kids there Monday, Tuesdays, and Thursdays.
Oh, boy. Oof. Man, that's a nice play by 61.
Cal bailing him out a little bit there.
That was big time. Pulled the fire alarm and got away with it.
How has that hockey culture in Denver changed since when you were here as a player?
Well, when I was here as a player, I only knew it from an NHL perspective. I didn't really, I didn't know anything really about the minor hockey in the Denver area. So it's tough for me to elaborate on that, but I just anytime a team wins the Stanley Cup, you're going to garner a lot more interest.
Definitely, yeah. Fair enough.
Which I'm sure has happened. So, and my son's 5, and I take him to learn to skate and all that good stuff nowadays. So, I see how many people are out there on the ice, and there's tons of little kids. So, I think hockey's doing pretty well around here. We need more rinks. Need more sheets of ice.
More rinks.
Need more sheets. Without a doubt.
I'm assuming they haven't asked you your bad food take yet.
We have not.
So everyone we have on the show, we have, say, a food that they like that people will think is gross. For example, I like mayonnaise on burritos. We've had people say mustard on pizza.
Okay.
Is there something that you really like that
Quincy
people don't
told
get?
us that he used to take a gallon of yogurt and put tuna fish in it and eat it.
That's unreal.
I mean, it's kind of gross, but it's probably very healthy.
That's what he said.
In hindsight.
That's what he said.
So my thing is probably, see right here, kale.
Twist the ankle?
I don't see much there.
Bigger concern was Martinook's head hitting the ice like that.
Yeah.
It bounced off.
Maybe just a skate problem or something.
Yeah, hopefully
there.
or something.
He came back out, so.
Yeah.
So my weird food thing, this must be a Canadian thing, is my dad would make French toast in the morning, and I would assume most people that eat French toast have maple syrup with it. I would put ketchup on it.
Ketchup on French toast.
That was
Ketchup
mine.
on French toast.
Do we remember?
Yeah.
You put ketchup on French toast?
I can't believe that another person would say
Me
that.
neither. I thought it was just my dad showing me this.
That was my dad too. He would make French toast because it was just bread, eggs, and milk, and then he just gave me ketchup.
All right. I guess this is a real thing.
So it's not that weird.
Still pretty weird.
I thought it was going to
be
Still
pretty
weird.
We're still going to go with that's a bad food take for sure.
You put ketchup on eggs. French toast is an egg mix on the bread.
Right. Yes.
You treat those eggs a little differently.
Yeah, not all eggs are created equally here, okay?
Well, I thought I was going to be pretty original with that, but apparently not. Apparently you do the same thing.
No kidding. I'm shocked. I've never met anyone else.
Now we're going to have all these people coming out of the woodwork say they do it too. This is going to be a whole thing.
See, they won't be shy anymore. They're like, oh, I do that too.
Yeah. All of a sudden, it's just accepted.
Now we're going to be the weird ones for not having ketchup on French toast.
Now I'm going to try it, and I'm just going to be like, this isn't good or bad.
I have no interest in trying that. No, thank you.
Yeah, I don't really want to ruin French toast with some ketchup.
I made French toast for my son, both my kids, but my son really likes French toast. But I ended up putting powdered sugar on it, like a little sprinkle of powdered sugar, and then you can't put ketchup over top of powdered
once you've
sugar.
made it sweet.
Once you made it, exactly. So I made it sweet, and then I gave him maple syrup, and there's probably a 0% chance he will ever eat French toast with ketchup.
Somewhere inside you knew it was better to teach your kids not to do that.
I don't know. Maybe. I don't know. I liked it when I was a kid, obviously. So yeah,
I think that's a good answer. I think it's a good answer, regardless of Megan also being weird.
Hard agree. That's a good bad food take.
Right. All right.
We haven't had very many breakfast ones though.
Yeah, a lot of dinners, the occasional dessert, but
yeah.
Yeah, I'm pretty standard when it comes to my dinner. I don't nothing too crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Try to make just about anything, eat about anything. My daughter's super picky. My son isn't. So, but then when they are picky, it's, I'll make potatoes. My daughter loves potatoes. Son doesn't like potatoes.
Yeah.
Always
make rice.
split. Yeah.
Son loves rice. Daughter doesn't like rice.
Can't just get them on the same page, huh?
No, just didn't want to be on the same page. They didn't want to make it easy for me. So sometimes I feel like I run a restaurant.
So you mentioned Family Sports Center. I've always wanted to ask you guys, how do you guys feel about practicing at FSC? It's like way south of the city. It's kind of a strange facility for a practice spot. You know?
I guess I didn't know any better because when I first moved here to play for the Avs, and I still live in the same neighborhood. Where I live is pretty much dead center, right in the middle of where the game rink is, where the practice rink is.
Oh, nice.
So I was the same distance no matter where I was going. Mm-hmm. Obviously, going downtown got a little bit dicey for games and traffic, but for the most part, it was pretty even. So traveling down there it didn't really bother me. I guess I didn't know any better, and it was just that's where I ended up living, and it worked out well. Now the facility itself, you probably could use a little TLC and some upgrades, and the boards. Like I practice on that same sheet of ice every day with this OHC team that I coach. So I'm on the same ice that the Avs are on, and I'm coaching 14-year-olds, and I'm like, I get disappointed that my 14-year-olds have to skate on that ice sometimes, to be quite honest. So I don't know. I just think, even if you keep the same facility, but just throw some new boards in, the glass is tilting like this, and where the Zamboni is, if a puck hits it, the puck just dies right there.
Yeah.
There's no consistency with the bouncing off the boards. So it just needs a little bit of care and whatnot. And I think it would be okay. The dressing room itself, it's not that bad. It's
dressing room.
Pretty decent. Yeah, it's a dressing room, but it's big enough that fits everybody in there, and it's not cramped or tight or anything like that. The medical areas are nice. Showering area is nice. There is not a big or nice lounge area. Mm-hmm. Oh, there we go.
Should have had one earlier, so
I don't care. He got one. That's
what I'm saying. It's only fair he gets it.
Well, how did we didn't even see how that play transpired. All of a sudden, he's on a breakaway and then he scores.
Yeah, we were looking at the outdoor game, and then he's on a breakaway, and it's very confusing.
Oh, that's a nice pass.
Oh, and Netchus just falls asleep, man.
Who's
Gets
that?
ran to the bite.
He fell asleep 2 times last game that they played.
So
he is bad defensively. He's really good offensively.
Marty Netchus falls asleep a lot. I've watched all of his career. Andrei Svechnikov's one of my favorite NHL players, so I watch a lot of Hurricanes. And Netchus, it's like this. Well, it'd be like this.
Yeah, when he doesn't have the puck and he's on D, he's clueless. He stares at the puck. He just stares at it, and he's not aware of what's around him or behind him. Because last game, when Carolina was here at home, 2 of the goals they have scored, he's standing right there covering error. Well, that's good for Newhook to get a goal, though.
Yeah, he needed that.
Yeah, because the last game that I watched when they were playing Carolina at home, to me, he was trying too much. He's not keeping it simple enough. He'd be in the slot in the scoring area, and instead of looking to shoot the puck and get the puck to the net, he's trying to slip a pass.
Make the perfect play.
No, he's trying to slip a pass back to a D-man at the blue line. I'd rather you take a shot from the slot than try and go back to a defenseman, and then who knows what's going to happen.
How much of that is a confidence thing, though, right?
Oh, it is. He's overthinking. He's definitely overthinking the game. He's just trying to do too much, where it's like, hey, let's keep it a little bit more simple at this time, and you'll be fine. So I just getting a breakaway and getting a goal and getting going, that's always good.
I don't know why they bother making a call in that spot.
Just let them both go.
Yeah, I
and
guess
play
I just
on.
don't see the point of it.
Yeah, but now you get 4-on-4.
Yeah.
Not necessarily a good thing for the Avs.
Yeah, they've not been great at 4-on-4, 3-on-3s.
You would think on paper it'd be a great thing for
That's
them.
What I mean. You got more ice. You have so much speed.
Yeah.
Really?
This is why you would think that they would have been one of the best 3-on-3 teams since Bednar's been here, and instead it's the opposite.
Yep.
Right. Well, I just think the Avs 3-on-3 especially, they're kind of one and done. They'll do a rush and they'll try and create an opportunity, and then all of a sudden the puck changes possession, and
the 3-on-1 the other way.
Yeah, and it's like they just fall asleep. Like, oh, didn't work. And it's like, well, no, you kind of have to get back.
Game's not over yet.
Yeah, they haven't scored yet.
My big frustration for a long time has been that they played 3-on-3 like it was 5-on-5. Like they still valued the puck the same instead of
significantly more.
Yeah, instead of taking it out of the zone and reloading and trying something else, they would take a low percentage shot and then it would be face-off time. And that was last year they stopped doing that, and they were a lot more successful. And I think that was one of the reasons why. But it has always been just a weird, frustrating thing that they just were not better in 3-on-3.
You know, I did want to get back to the Newhook conversation a little bit, because you played a lot for the Avs third line as kind of a high-skill guy down there. And what's that like? What does he have to do to find some consistency in his game on the offensive side?
Well, I mean, anytime for me, or like if you're not feeling it and you're not feeling the puck, you got to get around that dirty area of the net. You know, that 5-foot radius around the crease. You know, battle for position, and you know, sometimes you're just looking for some garbage, just to muck one in the net, or you know, get a pass, get it to a guy so that he can put it in the net, just to get the juices flowing a little bit, get feeling it a little bit more. And I mean, it's tough sometimes depending on what situation you're in, right? You know, obviously if you're not on the power play, you're not gonna
get those opportunities.
You're not gonna have those massive opportunities offensively, right? So it's tough in those situations when you're not getting those. But that's nor here nor there. If you're still going to be out on the ice and getting 14 minutes of ice time, you know, you might be on the PK a little bit more of those 14 minutes, but you're still getting 5-on-5 shifts.
Yep,
for sure. So just trying to get there. I don't even know if that's a penalty.
That's just a pile up of bodies mostly, right?
On live, it sure looks like it, but on replay, not at all, man.
Like, how do you call that?
Yeah.
He's like trying to gain his. Paulie's trying to gain his feet. He just fell over.
Yeah.
I mean,
he doesn't even know that guy's there.
Manson as much comes in and cuts him off as he does to Erod.
Yeah. It's frustrating sometimes, these refs.
It's not good.
No,
it's not good.
No. But just for Newhook, like, I'm just so happy that he could score a goal there. And like I said, for him to just be able to keep it simple, you know, not overthink things. And when you're in an area to shoot the puck, shoot the puck.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? He's acting like it's junior again, where all of a sudden he can just kind of
do whatever he wants.
And it doesn't work like that. Yeah. It doesn't work like that. This is the NHL now. You have to make solid, sure, hard plays. And obviously there's guys, you know, certain guys that can. Oh, maybe he did do it actually. Looked like he did kind of kick his foot out there.
Yeah, the less you see of all of it, the more it looks like tripping. And then that one replay,
the whole play, and there's 4 dudes lying on the ice, and you're like, oh!
It's so much sketchier from the one camera angle than the 3 others.
Yeah. Well, yeah, right. Each different camera angle tells a different story.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Boy, if the Avs could get one here, they could really set themselves up to steal this one.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's crazy. 28-10.
And the Avs are up 1.
That's almost a replay of last weekend, where
it's very Carolina MO, right? They very much will settle for low quality, lots of shots, but
yeah. Let's see what the qualities look like. I haven't checked any of
I'm
this.
sure it's not good. Just when the disparity gets that big, it's never good. But it might not be quite that bad.
I'm just curious, purely from a quality standpoint, where we are.
Why is Mikko not shooting that?
You would like him to pull the trigger for sure.
Oh. If you could one-time that's in the back of the net.
That is a question I ask maybe once a game.
At least once a game.
Well, Mikko's finesse, right? Like he wants to pass it through 3 guys back door for a tap in.
Yep.
Yeah.
See, look, even Newhook right there. That's a good little play.
Oh, yeah.
Get the puck on the boards. Nate gives it to you. Nate keeps going. Little pass into an area. Boom. Away you go. See, right here, this has got to be one time. It's right in his wheelhouse. I don't understand that. See, right here, bring a guy, make a little play.
Yeah,
right.
Generate a good chance.
That's what I mean, but just start to feel it. And like he didn't do anything special there.
Yeah,
Get
just
the
makes
puck,
the right play.
Get the puck, slip it through that guy's stick into an area, Nate gets it.
Sometimes the best thought is don't think.
That is always the best play. In most of these sports, like these high-level sports, is the less you think. You want it to be an 8, where it's automatic.
Yeah.
You know that you're going to be able to make this play, and you do it. But then, when guys are struggling and stuff, you start to overthink, and you start thinking, well, like, I don't know, should I make this play? Like, and all of a sudden you have that half second of doubt.
Yeah.
Where
and it's too late.
Yep. Yeah. And that opportunity is gone. This game happens very, very fast.
It's so fast. It's the thing that when I have family, friends or whatever that watch a hockey game on TV, I'm like, you guys don't even know.
Yeah.
If you get ice level and you watch an NHL game being played full
just how
speed,
fast it really is.
I mean, it becomes a lot more obvious why the game is really, really, really difficult. Because you have to survey the ice, and you got to know where 9 other guys are and where they're all headed and where they're all going, and they're all going at top speed, and you've got a quarter of a second to make that decision, and you're trying to make the right one. Yeah. Because if you don't, you're in trouble.
Well, you before you even get the puck, you have to have some sort of idea of what you're going to do. What's your thought process? Because you don't have. Unless you're on the power play and you're Nate and they dump the puck back to you. Okay.
He spends half the game with the puck on his stick.
Yeah. Then you've got a lot of time, right, to make plays. But
so
for the majority of us,
remind everyone in the chat, this event is being put on by Lacroix Hockey and the Avalanche Alumni Association. So we have them to thank for this. If you guys like stuff like that and you want to help grow the game of hockey here in Colorado, we have a QR code up on screen where you can donate to Lacroix Hockey. Help them out. That helps a ton. And we're doing that instead of Super Chats tonight. So if you want to send a Super Chat, ask a question, send a donation through the QR code. We have our producers looking at it, and they'll get your question, and we'll put it on here. So be sure to get in there, help support some amazing stuff going on. Obviously, we've already talked about the number of different teams that people are working with this year. So help out Colorado hockey. Help us become huge, not just with the Avs, but all the way down the Colorado hockey rungs. And that's the end of the second period, right there.
So I'm curious, what did you think of last year's team? Obviously good, but one of the better ones that you've seen in your time?
Oh, without a doubt.
Yeah.
I mean, come on. Serious?
Well, because we were over the summer, we were trying to figure out historically where we would put them. Not even going back 50 years, but just the last 20 years. Where would we have them?
Well, that's hard to say. I mean, obviously you've got that other Avalanche Cup winning team that had 7 Hall of Famers or something nuts on it. I mean, that story's yet to be told with these guys and where they might end up. I'm sure there's going to be a few Hall of Famers without a doubt on that Cup winning team.
At least 3, I would think.
With that Cup winning team last year. So, it's tough to say how you could compare that team to other teams, from the past 20 years, but they were a juggernaut last year. Me as a fan and having played with these guys, some of these guys and against some of those guys that are now on the team from last year, I mean, I never once during any playoff game thought, holy shit, we're in trouble. I never thought that one time. Mm-hmm. I just didn't. I had an uber amount of confidence in that team and their ability and what they could do every single night. And I mean, just the determination to get out of that second round and kind of see and feel the weight kind of fall off their shoulders, and then to just beat the wheels off of Edmonton in the next round was like you knew. You kind of knew.
Yeah.
Right? It just had that feeling.
There was so much respect for Tampa Bay going into that final that it was, I mean, 2-time champs and a bunch of guys that are going to be in the Hall of Fame themselves, and the Warriors, everything that they went through. but it sure did feel like going into that final that they were battling uphill. And then the first 2 games happen, and you're like, there's a clear-cut better team here.
Yeah. Well, I mean, anytime you go to the Stanley Cup Finals 3 years in a row, you're going to be, I don't care who you are, you're going to get worn out, you're going to get tired, you're going to get beat up, right?
Yeah, of course.
So, I mean, you put the Avs against a well-rested team. I mean, who knows what could have happened with that Lightning?
I've got a pretty good idea that they still would have got beat.
Probably, for sure. But I mean, I almost had it pegged going to 7 games myself.
Yeah,
that's what I thought. So
I was overconfident. I picked them in 5.
Okay. Yeah, I picked them in 7. The Avs to win in 7. So
I think I got it right. I think I had him in 6.
I think I was sitting at 5 with AJ.
And we were 5.5 minutes from being right.
Yep.
Tampa was such a good Game 7 team. I couldn't imagine if it did go 7. That would
have been
those 2 heavyweights.
Tough on the heart to watch a
rough.
Game 7.
There was no way that team was losing last year. It was their destiny.
A lot easier to say that now.
They were too. I mean, go back and come on. You know how I felt during that run.
Sorcerer over here, he knows it all.
Hey,
right?
look, I felt the same way, but
yeah,
I wasn't going to say it out loud.
I agree. I felt that way. Well, I already said it.
Yeah.
I said going into every game, I never felt worried for the Avalanche.
Yeah.
Any
Game
series,
6 in St. Louis was nervy.
Yeah, that was a little nervy.
The Game 5 loss was so tough. The way that they lost it, and then the way Game 6 starts, and then it goes on, and you're down 2-0, and Manson does make that crazy save. It looks like Darcy Kemper's forgotten how to play goaltender, and you're like, oh man, like they might be in some trouble here.
Yeah.
And then they dug deep and they found that night. They got JT Compher out of nowhere, just skating down the right side, nothing special.
Yeah.
Nothing special there, and just beats Ville Husso.
Yeah. Well,
twice.
I mean, if Binnington's healthy and he's in there, that could be. I still think the Avs pull it out without a doubt, but that could have been a really tight. That could have been a Game 7 series as well.
Ville Husso's a pretty good goalie himself.
He's not bad, but he's no Jordan Binnington.
You think so?
I think so.
Depends on the day, maybe.
Maybe it could depend on the day, but
they're off to really different starts this year. Ville Husso's been
he's fine for Detroit.
Like one of Detroit's best players, and Jordan Binnington had a white hot start those first couple of games, and then has really struggled since until the last week. Yeah, he was great Monday
against the Avs.
Yeah, he was great against the Avs.
He was unbelievable.
Gross. I hate giving him credit. How real are some of these rivalries? Like, how deep does some of the dislike run in locker rooms? Like during a postseason series, I imagine it's very real.
Oh yeah.
But after, when you see a guy around or whatever, the series is over. Does it stick, or is it like?
No, I wouldn't say it sticks unless there was obviously something that happened between you and someone else that was very, whatever the case could have been. But for the most part, no. Most guys leave it on the ice, without a doubt. Right, and that's where it should be left.
Yeah.
So,
not throwing water bottles at people during interviews.
Yeah. Well, that's him. That's Binnington, and he likes to do that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Right. He likes to stir the pot. He likes to get in guys' heads. I mean, he's a goalie. Like they're all. They've all got something. They've all got something, and for him, he's a little bit more outgoing and feisty, I guess. Which I don't understand, because when you look at him, he looks like a beanpole. But that's what all these goalies are now. They're all 6'3", and they weigh 180 pounds, and they're super athletic because they're just big and they got long limbs.
What was Varley's thing?
What was Varley's thing?
Yeah, you said every goalie's got a thing.
I mean, every goalie has a thing, but most goalies have that same thing. Like it's their preparation before a game. Mm-hmm. You don't really talk to them. They go off into whatever land they want to go in and warm up on their own and psych up for the game their own. You know, where a lot of guys, you know, will play soccer before the game, or, you know, you'll be in the gym together doing stuff. Goalies will kind of go off to the side and put their own earbuds in and do their goalie warm-up. You know, a lot of juggling or bouncing balls off the wall, whatever it is.
Yeah.
Right. So, I mean, Varley wasn't weird in, you know, away from the rink or anything.
Yeah.
But just goalies in general, they just warm up. They just warm up so different, in my opinion. But which they have to, right?
Sure.
Everything for them is very hand-eye. So, but Varley was a fairly normal goalie. Actually, all the goalies that were here in Colorado, I felt like were pretty normal. Jiggy was pretty normal.
I love Jiggy.
Jiggy, he was my favorite. I love playing cards against him on the plane. He was the best. He would lose his mind every time he lost a hand in poker.
I heard he had a special Gatorade flavor made because he lost so much vitamins during a game that he needed to replenish.
I wouldn't say it was any sort of flavor. He would drink the like extra electrolyted Gatorade. You know, the bottle that was, you know, it was probably about that big or whatever. He would probably have 5-6 of those during a game.
Jeez.
Yeah, you remember every stoppage, they would throw a new bottle down the ice.
Yeah. That guy, I've never seen a human being sweat so much in my entire life playing hockey. Like, he would take his skate off and he would, like, pour sweat would be falling out of his skates.
Oh my gosh.
Gross. It was insane, the amount of sweat that would come out of this guy.
The only goalie to ever literally be swimming in net.
Right.
Yep.
Gross.
And that's your Jiggy fact.
Now you know.
Yeah, good old Jiggy. I played with him in Toronto too, so it was kind of. I got him there. I got him here. He's such a great guy. Oh, I loved him.
How does here compare to Toronto?
I was going to ask if there was a culture shock.
Circus of Toronto hockey compared to Colorado.
Well, I mean, Toronto, New York, and then Colorado.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. Well, Toronto is it's the mecca of hockey. You know what they call it, sort of thing. But it's nuts. It really is. There are absolute diehard fans there that have been there. Their grandparents have been there, you know, then their dad, their great-grandparents, then their grandparents, then their dad, and now them, and it just goes down the line, and they're just gaining more and more fans every single year. And then obviously the media around it is crazy too. You know, you go even after a practice, there'll be 50 cameras in there. So
tough.
What was that like coming to Denver and especially because the Avs media? I mean, we were not robust back then. You know, now you go to a practice and there's
at least some people.
There's a solid contingent. It at least hits double digits, man.
Yeah.
What was it like getting here and being like, we've got 3 media members?
It was nice. I kind of liked it. You know, you didn't have there wasn't too many questions. There wasn't a lot. Not that I had a lot of cameras stuck in my face, but you know, it wasn't anything like New York or Toronto.
No.
Yeah, it was much more relaxed, and I mean, I probably talked to Kiefer more than anybody else. It seemed like after practice or whatever. But I don't know. It was different for sure. There was a lot less media members.
Do you think I've been curious about some guys that have come to Colorado, you know, like Soderberg and Lehkonen, played in, you know, Boston and Montreal, played in like hyper media markets, and then came to Colorado and were really defensive with media. And I've always wondered if their experiences just in those markets early shaped how they handled media, just made them kind of naturally defensive, or if those were just quiet guys who were not interested.
I mean, it could go either way. I mean, I don't know Lehkonen very much, but I know Carl.
Yeah.
And, I mean, he barely talked to us, let alone the media. So I don't think it was he got tarnished because he was in Boston and the media was so intense.
Mm-hmm.
I just don't think he really wanted to talk to anybody in the media that much. Carl was an interesting guy. I think he was like a math teacher or something in Sweden. Something bizarre like that. But
I know Dater was like convinced. He was like, I am getting that man to talk to me. I will have a normal conversation with Carl Soderberg come hell or high water. And apparently they talked about books once. And then I was like, oh, okay, so I'll try something similar. And I got shut down as hard as I ever have been when he was like, that's not hockey related. And I was like, yep, okay.
Violation.
I have no follow-up here. I was not expecting that.
See you later.
Yeah.
Good talk. Yep, good talk. I'm out here.
Yeah.
No, that was without a doubt exactly how Carl was. even with us sometimes, like just, it's like pulling teeth trying to get him to like come out and talk and do anything. But he was very eccentric, Carl.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, like to a fault, almost. But I actually liked him. Right, he was a good dude. He was always good to me, and if you could get even like a smile out of him, if you were saying something to him or razzing him or chirping a little bit, that was a win.
Yeah,
that was a good day. And if you could get like a light chuckle, you must have said something really funny.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm good. I'd love, Who's up next? The big bear kitty. All right. That was fun. Thanks, guys.
Thank you for
I appreciate it.
out.
Yeah, appreciate it, man. It's good to see you, bud.
Yeah, you too.
Thanks for coming.
Good to meet you.
Man, Newhook needed that goal.
Yeah. You guys see all the other Central Division teams are winning?
Yeah.
We're back. It's the Thunderdome again.
Thunderdome returns.
You know what? Sam Reinhart can keep scoring.
We'll be able to hear us better once this is on. Can you hear?
I can hear. Yeah.
Let's go. I have to ask, can John Mitchell tie his shoes? I'm just saying. They weren't tied.
We should ask.
Nolan Patrick conspiracy.
Is this a thing like hockey-wide?
Maybe. See, I gave up on it. I bought exclusively slip-ons.
No ties to have?
Yeah, I hated tying my shoes. I just hated it. It's just one of those things, man. I just didn't like doing it.
Fair enough.
And my daughters got me these for my birthday last week, so.
Are they comfy?
They're very comfy. And
what's up?
There's no laces. That's great, right?
That's all that matters. If they're comfy, you're good.
Yeah. I love when my wife is like, oh, hey, we're getting ready to go somewhere, and I'll come down the stairs and she'll be like, are you ready? And I'll walk to the door and I'll just slip the feeties in and I'll be like, I'm good, let's go. Where are you at? I thought you were waiting for me. What's going on here?
Happy belated birthday.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
What do you think of the game so far? Have you gotten to see much of it?
Good to see a little bit. They looked a little scrambly in the first period.
Definitely.
I haven't really caught much of the second. I did see Newhook's goal, so that was great. Good to see him get on the board.
Yeah.
We had to wait for a replay to see it because on live they messed up the production of it. Yeah.
Didn't really see anything with the very end. Yeah.
Cut to him making the move on the backhand, and everybody's like, is this live? Yeah. You can always tell when the bar doesn't know that the puck has gone in. Like, you faked him out.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a fun event tonight. It's cool to see everybody, and
always good to get the guys together and have a few laughs and make fun of each other and have a couple pops at the same time, right?
Yeah, how is it? It just seems like this group just keeps adding guys to it. A couple more guys retire and they just stay here. How has it been to see the kind of Colorado hockey community evolve?
Yeah, I've been done playing since 2009.
Yeah.
And, back then, it was hard to get a handful of guys, let alone, what we have today. So it's been great. John Michael Lyles and Kyle Quincy have done a great job kind of building our alumni. And, I think it's really catching on because, like I was saying, we have a blast together. We have a good time, and it's kind of therapeutic because, when you leave the game, there's nothing that replicates the locker room anymore. So it's always fun to get together and see the boys.
Yeah.
Do you follow this current Colorado Avalanche team pretty closely? Keep up with the going-ons? Players you like to watch?
Yep. Watch pretty much most games that I can. Obviously last year's a very special year, but to see them hanging in there with all the injuries this year, I think we got another shot. We got a good young core. We got the goaltending and a bright 5-6 years ahead of us, in my opinion.
I love to hear it. Yeah.
Hopefully it lasts.
Hope so.
Yeah, it's really hard to project that far out. Things can change so quickly.
Yeah, it really can. And, as much as the injuries have been bad, like, you got to think if there's a couple more, it's like, okay, now what? And, then you're stuck with the salary cap as well, so you can't really just go buy some replacements. There's the goal here.
Just wonderful.
I mean, he just beats a guy to a spot, and that's where early in the year when we were talking about Newhook and struggling, he wasn't utilizing his speed to pressure defenses. He wasn't coming through the neutral zone. He wasn't scaring anybody. Made himself really easy to defend because his skating is one of his greatest assets, and he just wasn't using it. And you see right there, he doesn't do anything special. They win a phase, and he just beelines.
This era of Avalanche hockey, that's what they all do, right? Anytime you catch a guy sleeping for half a second, that's how the Avs are beating you.
Yeah.
Because they will just skate you into the ground.
Yeah, there's not one player on the team that's a poor skater. The team as a whole is just so fast.
Yep.
But yeah, Newhook last year, that was probably the most noticeable thing was his speed. Yeah. And, I think everybody had a little rust on him from a short summer. But, I think we're starting to see it come around now, too.
It was interesting to talk to them in preseason training camp and such, and a lot of their sentiment was, it feels like we never left.
Yeah.
And then they get all these injuries, and then, they don't have a great, 4 or 5 games to start the year. And it was like, are you sure it feels that way still? And now they look a lot more like, we've seen a lot more like they're not back just because, the injuries that they're fighting are, significant. You're talking 2 top 4 defensemen, 2 top 6 forwards. Like, those are really, really important parts of your team.
And your captain's out too, right? So Landeskog's voice in the room is obviously was missed there early on, but they've kind of come a long ways. This Lehkonen has really stepped up, in my opinion. I really like his game.
What a great acquisition. He fit the team so perfectly. I'm willing to part ways with a young prospect.
Yeah.
And a high pick. I mean, a second-round pick, and Justin Barron is not a cheap price.
Not when your defense is as thinned out as it is in the prospect pool, too.
Well, and they did it, it's a bit of a gamble at the time because he's never had a 20-goal season. At the time, he was on his way to his most productive regular season at 38 points, which is a fine total, but it's not, you paid a big right shot defenseman that's over 6 feet tall that skates like the wind, who was your first round pick and maybe one of your best prospects at the time, and a second round pick. Like, it's a big price to pay, and it now feels very obvious, all in hindsight, what a smart deal that was for them, and how both teams, I think, are going to be happy there.
Right.
But there was a leap of faith made by the Avs that this was a guy that could handle a bigger role than he'd ever played in on a competitive team. Not just getting a lot of minutes on a bad hockey team, but a meaningful role on a team that fancied itself a cup contender. And for them to have been that right about it, I mean, that's hard to do. It's real hard to do.
Yeah, you got to give Chris McFarland a lot of credit for the guys that he brought in, because it wasn't like it was these huge names, right?
Yeah.
But everybody kind of fit into their place and kind of overachieved. When Lehkonen first came over, I texted my buddy Shea Weber. I said, "What kind of player are we getting here?" He says, good 200-foot player. You can pretty much kind of plug him in anywhere. But obviously, I would say he really surprised us to the upside on his offensive abilities, and where he could, look at him in the last few games on the top line, he just fits right in.
Yeah, it's a perfect fit, and I think when you see the deadline is always fun every year from which teams are going for it and all that, but you see every year teams go and get guys that just don't fit. You know, that they don't work out. They don't. You know, Nico Sturm was a guy last year that was kind of an awkward fit in Colorado and never really looked like he got really comfortable.
Just a little quiet, yeah.
And then you look at the other three guys, Cogliano, Manson, and Lehkonen, they're all back for a reason.
Yeah. Manson is a great pickup just because, you know, the makeup of our decor is pretty, you know, on more of on the finesse side. So, you know, somebody with a little sandpaper like that is definitely needed.
Somebody that's...
And he's just a good character miserable guy, too. He's
one of the best personalities in the room.
Yeah.
It is interesting, the team building aspect, that you do need that. You can't have 23 super serious guys.
No.
You need a guy that likes to go out and have a little bit of fun, a guy that cracks jokes. And I think the chemistry aspect of things is fascinating from the outside, where you just never know. Yeah. You're not in the room. You don't know. Do these guys get along? Do they like each other? Do they want to play together? Do they want to play for one another? And that mixture is so hard to find, and what made last year's group so special.
Yeah. You know, I think they were knocking on the door for a couple of years there, but, you know, they did a good job of just adding in here and there, not doing a total makeover, and not kind of panicking. So, you know, they trusted the process, and it's paying off. And like I said, I think we're going to have another good 5-6 years of this core for sure.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, the McKinnon, Makar, Rantanen, you hope Byram, like, pretty special hockey players. You know, they've given 8-year deals to Landeskog and to Chushkin, and 8-year contract is so long.
It's crazy.
Do you have something to promote, Rudo?
Just that this is still sponsored by Lacroix Hockey. We'll get to it again in a minute.
Cool. Very natural segue of mine.
It was excellent work.
I know you have a scouting background, too. It was major junior. Was it Seattle?
I scouted for my old junior team just a little bit when I was kind of first time playing. It was probably more because I knew all the families in the neighborhood of Denver, right? There's the community that when the big scouts would come to town, you just basically take them over and introduce them. That was probably more of it, but it was cool. My dad was scouting too, so we'd go to training camp together and hang out and spend some time together. It was a lot of fun that way.
$36-11. I hadn't actually looked at the shot counter in a while.
I just saw it as well.
It's gotten pretty out of hand,
to
be honest.
They're getting bodied, man.
I mean, they're ahead in the one category that matters.
Yeah.
But
for now.
It doesn't seem like Carolina's down their throats, though, really.
It doesn't.
It hasn't.
You know, a lot of
the first period
shots.
felt a lot worse.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Ooh, I've liked Martin Kaut tonight. You can't stop me.
You can't stop me.
Now, do you guys watch a lot of other teams? Like, for example, I was watching the Ottawa game last night, and there was somebody else I was watching, and just the amount of plays where the puck's bobbling and they're just that one step behind, or they can't settle it down. And so it just creates all these different scenarios where the Avs just seems like they just fire it around and are able to handle a bad pass or knock it down, and you'll kind of keep that momentum going where there's so many broken plays when you watch these other games. It's almost actually frustrating to watch after watching the Avs.
You get spoiled. They settle the puck so easily.
Yeah, when you watch teams that are still trying to figure it out at the NHL level, you know, it's teams that are rebuilding, teams that are, you know, they know that this is not the group that they're trying to like win a lot of games with. It can definitely be like I watch Arizona, and it's, you know, I don't understand how people think they're fun to watch. I think they're brutal.
They've had quite the start. They've surprised a few people.
Well, in Chicago and Philadelphia, all three of those teams have been like, well, they're going to be bad, but then they came out of the gate and they're pretty competitive, and it's like, well, were we wrong about this? And then you look and they're being outshot by 25 every single night, and they're getting by on power plays and shooting percentages, and you're like, this is all crashing back to earth at some point.
It works for as long as it works.
Exactly. You're like, you know what? They had a good 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Carolina's one of those teams, though, that every year I go in thinking, that's a really good team.
And then
and they're good. They're good.
They're always good.
They're well
but
coached.
Never
they're deep.
Great.
Yeah, when they added Burns and there's somebody else they added this year, you're just like, wow, on paper this is a really good team, and then it's just something about it.
Man, that's such a nothing play that they almost turned into.
I mean,
those are the ones that happen. You got guys' bodies going to the net and just float it on net. It'll find a way, or you get the greasy rebound.
Those are the types of plays you have to beat a team that's out possessing you as heavily as Carolina is tonight.
Yeah. Well, and they weren't doing that against St. Louis the other night. They're trying to have the perfect play, and it just didn't happen. At the end of the game there, when it's like a 6-on-3, it's too many bodies, too many options type of thing.
Yeah.
How many 6-on-3s were you involved in?
Ever.
I was usually on the 3 side. I wasn't on the 6.
We ended up going back the next day and looking through some of the numbers, and like the 5-on-3 numbers, and it was the team that had the most 5-on-3 last year spent 14 minutes on the 5-on-3.
Yeah.
And it's like, God, a 6-on-3, it's
very rare.
And then they're not score, and it was an extended one too. It was almost 2 full minutes.
Yeah.
And they don't score on it, and you're just like, you don't score with a 3-guy advantage. That's tough.
Yeah. It's a little frustrating, just like you said, there's so many skilled guys in there zipping it around, making those perfect plays, but at the end of the day, somebody's got to pull the trigger and put it on net, and somebody's got to be in front of the net doing the dirty work.
Yeah. Well, and then you get an opportunity, and Makar shoots it, one-timer. You don't have time to do any of that, but it goes where it goes, and
hope for the best.
It ends up right back into Binnington's body, and it's like, oh my gosh.
What a strange play.
Yeah.
It reminded me of the goal in the Global Series where a failed shot hits the back of the board. Martin Kaut finds it, scores a goal off it. Just weird.
That backhand off the back, it looked like it was off the nameplate or the back of the helmet of Korpisalo. Yeah. And you're just like, you get a goal like that, right?
Are we doing this on purpose? What's going on here? He's just that good.
There actually is a play where guys would, obviously teams crowd the front of the net, but to get it by them, you'd shoot on the short side, and it kind of bounces right in front of the net. And every teams that practice that and have a set play.
Yeah.
You don't see it that much, but it pops out now and then for sure.
You saw in the St. Louis game that tonight, one of their goals was that shoot it in from center off the far board and let their guy win a foot race to the puck for a breakaway kind of play. The old Sedin's play that they ran so well. They scored one of those tonight.
All right. Bad food take time.
Oh.
We got to do it. Everyone we have on the show has to give their bad food take. That is a food that they like that most people would think is gross. So far tonight, we've had tuna in a vat of yogurt.
Yep. Yep. Kyle Quincy said that he would put a gallon of plain yogurt that he put tuna in and ate it.
But not always plain. Sometimes
not always
flavored.
Plain.
And then Mitchie said ketchup on French toast.
Yeah.
And he's valid for that.
Oof. So your face was mine when he said that. I don't get it.
Those guys are from Ontario, though, so they're a little different over there. I'm a pretty simple meat potatoes kind of guy, but if I think about that one, I don't think I really do anything too crazy.
Like that, shoot that puck, man.
Yep.
It's cool that they got a penalty, but shoot that puck, my guy.
You only get so many chances.
Yeah. What kills me is when that line gets cute. When it's Comfer and Cogliano and LOC, and you're like, you guys are the ones. Look, you guys have made your bones.
Not your thing.
Keeping it simple.
That's not your thing.
You guys,
at all.
it's attack the net. It's pucks forward. You know, that's.
Singers sing and dancers dance, right?
Yeah, there you go.
Oh, Cogliano got the face.
Rough. All right,
Cogliano has
Bernsey,
no
do your
teeth,
time.
so that big, like, he's like, and it's just like this huge void.
Gum line.
Yeah. I love the guys that decide. I'm not worrying about the teeth until I retire.
Yep.
Yeah.
There's no point.
Just figure it out later. I'll lose them again.
I'm not messing with it. I'll look ridiculous for a couple of years, but I'll make enough money to easily take care of this when I'm done.
I have a crazy teeth story. So I had all my teeth for my whole career, and I'm playing in my last year in North America, and I was going. Did I know this? But like I only had one more year left in Germany after that. But my wife always, was bugging me to get my teeth whitened and stuff, and I said, well, I'm not going to waste money to get my teeth whitened because they're just going to get knocked out, right?
Yeah.
And so, sure enough, I was playing for the Islanders farm team in Bridgeport, Connecticut, and my oldest daughter was born, and so she comes home from the hospital, and I had a game that night. I walk in the door, I got no front teeth. I got cross-checked right in the mouth, knocked out the top four, and I just told her see, I told you. We spent that money to get my teeth whitened. I told you we'd get them knocked out. It was Murphy's Law, in my opinion, but
That's rough timing.
Yeah, that's a long day, I imagine.
So then, it was. I didn't have enough bone to get like a replacement or
the graft.
Yeah, so they had to do that. So you had the temporary teeth, and I'd constantly forget my flipper at the restaurant.
No.
I'd have to call back and be like, "Hey, you guys got my tooth?"
You got some teeth there?
Some would be really cool. They'd just grab it and walk it out to you and bring it out. And then other times they'd be hold it with tongs, they didn't want to touch it and stuff. So.
That might be the bad food take replacement.
Yeah, I think that
leaving
passes.
the teeth at the restaurant.
That passes for sure.
I love the tongs especially.
Right.
I'm not touching this.
Yeah.
How many kids do you have?
I have 3 daughters.
Oh, girl dad.
You're outnumbered.
Yeah.
Do they like hockey?
They love hockey, yeah. It was really cool this year when they had the parade. They let the alumni have a truck, and they let us bring our kids with us. So it was pretty cool to share that with them.
What?
It was a fun day.
What an incredible memory.
Yeah.
Are they fully grown up now? Or are they getting there?
They're 15, 14, 11. So
Okay.
I'll soon have 3 teenagers in my house.
Ooh, all at once. Oh my goodness.
You're gonna start being at these events a lot.
Time to come down a lot more.
Bring them down. I'll talk to them. We'll hang out.
There we go. Everybody wins.
That's a nice play. That's how they created that 2-on-1. St. Louis created that 2-on-1 the other day. That same play along the wall, a little chip.
Hard to feel comfortable right now if you're the Avs.
Oh, totally. Yeah. I mean,
10 minutes left. Ooh.
Frankie's bailing you out hardcore. It doesn't get any more bailout than this.
I'm saying I think it probably takes one more real goal. I don't know that they win this 2-1 or with an empty netter.
Oh my God! What are you doing?
England?
Oh my goodness.
And it's going to result in the goal.
Wow.
That's a
he will not be
reassignment
on this
back
team
to
tomorrow.
Loveland.
Yep.
He shouldn't be, man. That's so brutally bad.
We'll get the player development people in the house here tonight, so we can probably get them over here and
have a little conversation about it.
I actually feel bad too. I thought he played above expectation in that first game.
He was totally fine.
But you can't just run into your own goaltender.
What are you doing
what was
here?
The plan?
and not slightly either. He hammered him.
Yeah.
Jeez.
Oh my gosh, man. What are you doing?
That's baffling.
Well, and then that puck hits him. It's not even Frankie.
Yep.
It's bad on 2 fronts.
I can't wrap my head around this.
That play is truly baffling. I cannot explain what just happened.
Sorry, it's not funny. I'm just reminded of Martin Kaut's self-goal in the playoffs for the Eagles last year.
Oh, that had to be
There've just
tough.
been some brutal moments with these poor Eagles guys. Whew. They sure keep it fun.
That's tough.
Yeah.
And we're talking like,
Yeah, momentum changer for
well,
sure.
making them earn it, man. I mean, Frankie's playing great, and then you just give up a total freebie there.
It's a nothing. It's a nothing play.
I'd love to hear how they're talking about it on the broadcast right now.
He's looking right at him, too. What was he thinking?
Genuinely.
I don't think he could stop, honestly. That speed, that size, he just couldn't.
Well, then he kicks that puck. He opens up his skate and accidentally kicks that puck into the middle of the ice.
Yeah.
Like, it's bad on bad. Oh, boy. That guy's a problem. You don't want to let that guy loose.
Oh, he's skilled, slippery.
Well, now you got 8.5 minutes left to win it in reg. I don't know. I don't know if I believe.
I mean, an overtime game is fine.
That's true. If they get a point out of this, it's not the end of the world.
Did you notice there's no tape in that jukebox?
On brand. So you were in the unique position that you got to travel the world at least a little bit to play hockey. What was that like as an experience of getting to play over in Germany instead of here in the U.S.?
Oh, it was great. Other than the fact that we had young kids at the time, it's just such a different experience to go not just visit but live somewhere and see how another part of the world lives. Like, you go to a grocery store in Germany and there's nothing with preservatives in it, right? Like, so you got your cold cuts sitting there, you got your eggs sitting there. Like, they go to the store every day to make their meals. They don't stock up like we do for a week or 2 weeks and throw it in the freezer and then go from there. So that was always different, but kind of eye opener too. That like, wow, we could be a lot more healthier if we just ate differently, right?
Yep.
The Christmas markets over there are really fun. Basically walk around and you've got either your Glühwein or get a glass of wine and schnitzel and fondue and stuff. So, it was great that way. Shopping's different. Apparently when you check out, you're supposed to have your own bags or pay for your bags, or else they kind of look at you like, you got to get these out of here. And you're like, I don't have any bags.
Yeah.
You're waiting for them to start
bagging
them for you.
I'm sure it doesn't compare, but have you been to the Chris Kindle Market that they do here in Denver?
Yeah, it's downtown. I've kind of been by it. Obviously not the same, but over there. The other thing about Germans are very disciplined people, so like we would walk over to this. It's called like an outdoor shopping mall, and it's where the Christmas markets would be. And like you could see like a good half mile this way down the street, good half mile down this. So if there's no cars coming, you just go, right?
Yep.
Well, like the Germans, oh no, they'll wait till that sign changes. Like they gasp when your foot comes off the curb to step down. They're like, what are you doing? Like, you can't break the rules like this.
That's so wholesome.
So it was just interesting that they have that discipline to just. They would stand there all day if the sign told them to,
That makes me wonder what they're like as hockey fans. Are they similar level of passion?
Yeah, a lot of passion. They sing all game. So
that's adorable.
Obviously, I don't know German that well.
You don't know what they say.
Yeah, exactly.
They could be saying mean things.
Yeah, well, the Germans told me, like, if you're playing well, the songs are, like, very positive songs, and, like, if you're not playing well, they turn down, more the negative tone.
That's
hilarious. Yeah, there's this one barn, I'd have to ask Steve Reinpratt, because he played down there for quite a while, too. This one rink, it's an outdoor rink, so it's open on 3 sides, and it's just the one end is kind of closed in. But, like, the snow and the wind would come blowing in, and you could smell the booze off the crowd because they're all just hammered.
Yeah. I think I love the Germans.
Yeah. Although the other thing they do at Christmas time is they sing, English Christmas carols, and they're drunk as a skunk, don't speak English, but they can sing every Christmas carol in English. Yeah.
That's incredible.
That's amazing.
It's unreal. Yeah. 42 shots, a lot of shots.
I think it's going to keep going up, too. It's not about to get better.
Well, I mean, they keep winning faceoffs and doing this.
Yeah.
They're getting caved at the face-off circle.
Well, while we have a break here, once again, we are brought to you by Lacroix Hockey. You see that QR code on your screen? That you can donate to Lacroix Hockey for. They're the people who put this whole event together for us. Got, alongside the Avs Alumni Association, everyone in this room to hang out with us, be on this show, do all of this amazing stuff, including the silent auction here. So give a little bit, help out the Colorado hockey space, help out Lacroix Hockey, and carrying on the legacy of Pierre Lacroix and everything that's been built here in Colorado. Obviously, there's a bunch of amazing stuff. Also, we will be having Milan Hajduk on our post-game show. If you want to ask him a question, you can donate $20 and ask your question, and your question will get asked on the post-game show. So
we're supposed to have Eric too.
Yeah, Eric as well. But I know Hajduk's the big draw name here. All right.
Yeah.
Just being honest.
We asked John Mitchell about this, but the growth of hockey in Colorado, what have you seen in the way that it's evolved?
I asked. It's the first thing I asked
kidding.
when he said.
Just kidding. Oh, man.
It's all good. It's just funny.
Obviously, I've been here since 2001. I was drafted in 97. So not only has it grown just within the actual city, and we've definitely got the more sheets of ice now and stuff, but to have programs nationally ranked and you're kind of on the map that way, it's been fun to watch. There are some things going on right now that I think are going to make it even better too. And I know Johnny Mitchell and David Clarkson and Eric Lacroix are all a big part of that. So it's going to be fun to watch and support.
That Okanagan Hockey Colorado?
Yeah.
That's an awesome model. It sounds like he was describing to us the work-life balance for these young kids to help make them better athletes and build pro habits early. It sounds awesome.
Yeah, you're better students, and you spend more time with your family, and the one mistake I think people in Colorado make, and like even my daughters play lacrosse, is everybody thinks you got to travel to have good competition, and I kind of disagree. Just that you could probably play each other a zillion times and still be developing as much as getting your butts kicked by going to Chicago or going to Maryland or anything like that. The biggest thing about Colorado in every sport is the sad part is everybody has to turn into a business to make it succeed. So it turns into a year-round deal. And unfortunately, I think development-wise, these kids should be playing multiple sports, as many as they can.
Right.
But the old dollar gets in the way, and like I said, everybody's got to kind of turn it into a business.
All right, it's crunch time now.
They're just surviving right now.
Yeah, it is 100% survival.
Yeah. Earlier when I said that it wasn't like they were coming down our throat, I take that back.
Take it back. Yikes. Just
you
when
did
thought
this.
it couldn't get worse. Who's going to be the guy to get it done for Colorado?
Frankie.
So, you can't pick the goaltender.
It's on his shoulders. He's the reason they get a point tonight or not.
I mean,
so.
look, you had the depth show up, right? You got a new hook goal, so where are Mac and Miko at? Let's
Right,
go.
I'm still waiting for
I mean,
Miko.
you've got an E-Rod goal made from a play by Arturi Lekkinen, and you have a new hook goal from a play from Josh Manson and Eric Johnson.
Yeah, big dog's got to eat now.
Yeah, I mean, here you go. You got the help you didn't get last game. Now you got to do your part, big dogs.
Big dogs.
I feel like if I called McKinnon Big Dog, he would not appreciate that.
That's why it's weird that in the media that they do, like in arena, they say it's his preferred nickname is Dog with 2 G's. I just don't think he'd appreciate being called Dog.
I don't know. I've heard him call himself that.
Yeah.
I feel like if I called him that.
Yeah.
Credential revoked.
That would be
That's
a little
what
weird.
I'm saying.
Yeah.
If I called him Big Dog or any like form of that, I don't think he would respond to that very positively.
No.
I mean, I feel like that'd be one of the tamer ones. If you're out here calling Landy Man Rocket or something, that might be even worse.
Landy knows. I'm not worried about it. I think he knows.
I think he'd be a good sport about that one.
I think you could call Sammy Tornado and he'd be like, "What's up?"
I think he'd appreciate it.
He was here when we gave him his own shirt.
Exactly.
Did you have any fun nicknames?
Oh, good question.
Yeah, I probably got more nicknames than anybody could ever think of. Obviously, anything that goes with Barry or Bear.
That's common. Yeah.
And that's what Mitchie said when you walked over. Is he was like, "Oh, it's Bear time," and it was like, "Okay."
Who had the weirdest nickname in the locker room?
Think about that one. But yeah, there's a lot of them would be inside jokes too. So
wouldn't make any sense.
Yeah,
Fair enough.
I can
Fair
respect
enough.
that.
Yeah.
Oh my God, man.
Yeah.
That's tough because you make a good play.
Yep.
And then, all right, we got to get it out. And
nope,
dude.
Is that new hook? Yeah.
What is with all the high sticks from this team over the last 2 weeks?
There's been a lot
everywhere. Like
tons of high sticks.
All the games I've been watching, yeah, just tons and tons.
Oh no! You don't leave Andrei Svechnikov alone in the middle of the ice, guys.
Well, they got away with it once.
That's my super in-depth scouting report. Don't do that.
Of course, we're going to be in the last 2 minutes of the third, too.
They now have to spend the rest of the game on the PK. Actually, they need to get this whistle
They need to
blown.
get to the PK.
Yeah, so it's not if it does go to OT.
Into OT,
That's
right.
their top unit, though.
This is so.
That's been on the ice for this whole thing.
Well, they still have their timeout, though, right? So
Yeah, but it may not. They may not start it with 1:49 to go. They may not start that. Oh man.
No reason at all.
Just can't
Not
be doing
even
that
close
right
to the
now.
puck,
Yeah.
Dude. Especially Calvin DeHaan is not a threat in the offensive zone.
Oh,
That's just not the guy.
he's feeling bad.
Yeah.
Rightfully so.
Well, he's feeling like he's about to cost his team a game. How lonely is that, sitting in an NHL penalty box?
It's the worst, especially at this point in the game where you've battled so hard and everybody's put their work in, and yeah, you're kind of hanging on by a thread, but just to even give them this opportunity, or like, oh man.
Was there a piece of advice you ever received from a teammate, from a coach, that stuck with you your entire career?
Don't take a penalty in the last 2 minutes of a tie game.
Don't do that. Yeah.
I was always when I was younger, I was always usually really hard on myself, and we actually had a sports psychologist when I played in Seattle, my junior, and he just told us to go out there and have fun. It's like every day, just go make the best of it. And you kind of, it doesn't happen overnight, but you learn to kind of take that with you and let loose a little bit more, rather than beating yourself up for no reason at all. So that would be something that probably stuck with me for the majority of my career. So there's a lot of times that I was lucky to be there most of the time. So, you know, you got to just believe in yourself because there's probably not too many other people that are believing in you. But you kind of got to be your own cheerleader, I guess.
That's important. Remind yourself to have fun.
Oh, yeah.
It's a privilege.
It's one of the things we talked about in their cup run last year was that what made the Avalanche look a little different from some of the other teams is they did look like they were having fun. They looked like they had a great time playing the game together. Yeah. And you would see like a Carolina would go on the road and they were so tight. And they looked like they were so afraid to lose the game all game long. It was tough.
One of those teams where I think everybody knew their role. Like each line, like there was 4 different totally lines. You know, the big dogs could zip it around, and you could insert some different pieces there once in a while, and you know, guys would hang in there with them. But yeah, as much as intensity that McKinnon and you know, he has in his game, that you could tell it when the wins were happening, he was having fun too.
Yeah. I mean, you look at his face after he goes end to end and makes it 4-3 in Game 5 against St. Louis, and they blow that. But like his face, you're like, if he had just continued skating, I think he would have gone through the boards, through the bleachers, on outside.
That's how you know a dude's a killer when they show you that face.
Yeah. I don't know. Is it that, or is it when Cale Makar gets bodied by somebody and he gets up with the biggest grin on his face,
psychopath,
like, that was the most fun I've ever had in my life. Let's fight again.
I'm still shocked that they lost that game to St. Louis. Like,
that was brutal.
You thought that goal by McKinnon sealed the deal. And
you'd blown a 3-0 lead, and then he gives you that immediately after. That was. We've always kind of talked about how we got like robbed of an all-time great Avalanche moment. Because if that wins that game, if that's and they win that
series clinching goal, right?
Yeah.
Oh, there we go. All right, we got a chance.
One more chance here.
One more shot. Come on, Frankie.
All right.
There you go.
Right. Got a point.
Well deserved by Frankie.
That's all Frankie.
One Frankie point is what that is for sure.
All Frankie and a little Andreas Englund.
So 10 seconds here on the power play.
Yeah.
11 maybe.
Got to win the face-off.
Yeah.
Boy, does that become big all of a sudden.
Yeah.
But it'll turn into 4-on-4.
Yeah.
Which isn't as bad if they can prevent an immediate opportunity.
Over under 2 minutes this overtime lasts.
I'm gonna say over because I think they get to the 4-on-4 and then it slows down a little bit.
Okay. I'll take the under then.
Me too. I always take the under on Avalanche Overton. Nope, they don't last long.
Doesn't feel good.
Nope.
Yeah.
If it's not 2 minutes, it might be under 15 seconds. Is the thing.
Man.
Yeah. Like the Winnipeg game. Like
just end immediately.
I mean, I say the Winnipeg game like a lot of their overtime games. Yeah.
Every other overtime game is like, oh, the 30-second mark. What is this?
Yeah. I remember they had a road trip a couple years ago where they lost 3 straight games in overtime out east.
Yeah.
And the third one was in Boston, and they got to like the 2-minute mark, and even the broadcast was like, well, it's getting better. They've made it this far. That was the beginning of their like real 3-on-3 woes.
Yeah.
It's funny, we were talking about 3-on-3 with Mitchie, and here we are.
Made it all the way. Well, technically
maybe,
not
right?
just 3-on-3.
Yeah. Still going to be 4-4, so we'll see.
I can't believe the fewest shots on goal in a game was 9.
Yeah, that's it. Very few shots.
In the 80s, how's that possible?
Wow. It was at Buffalo, so they might have too much time at the Anchor Bar the night before.
Yeah. I've heard the road trips up there involve quite a few cans of beer.
There's not much else to do in Buffalo. Yeah.
In 2 weeks, the Avs go back-to-back. They go Winnipeg, at Buffalo.
Wow. Hey, they won
Oh,
the
that's
face-off.
so big.
And now you get it to 4-on-4 now. You can just dump this down. Yeah.
Yeah.
Good.
Does Newhook stay on the ice or make a beeline?
I think he beelines. Nope, he's going to stay.
Yeah.
Didn't really have the time, I guess, but...
Oh, it said 1-on-1 overtime record. I was like, what's the one they won? I forgot the Rangers shootout. Yeah, the Rangers shootout. That was a wild overtime.
Rodriguez.
That was a wild overtime.
That whole everything was wild.
Yeah, that game was pretty. I mean, that game was at least back and forth, and it wasn't.
A crater of a hockey game.
Statement for Georgie. Everything about that game was
true.
so fun.
Yeah, it was so good for him to get that win.
Well, they go right back to 3-on-3, and they put the tandem of death out there.
Drop the puck right now. Oh, my God. Jordan Stahl, at least Jordan Stahl's on the right side of the ice.
Tandem of death.
That was the hope, and it didn't matter. Mikko just hounded him, just like, get rid of it. All right, we're at 30 seconds.
Baby steps. It's interference.
Yeah, this is, I think, is crazy. They're not afraid to bring it back out.
Yeah.
You're wasting so much time and energy here.
NHL coaches have taken the fun out of even 3-on-3.
No, they haven't. You stop. I will say that first year was so much fun, though, because nobody knew what was going on.
It was just madness.
And it was just 2-on-1s and breakaways. And
oh, here we
guy
go.
just falls over. You take those. Good job on my car to slow it down. Not a good pass, though.
And then that's bad.
Got away with it.
All right. I love you, LOC, but get off the ice.
No.
Shows where our depth is.
He's not doing it.
Yep. When LOC's out in OT.
Oh, my God.
Can't
And he
be
gets
doing that. Can't be doing that.
This is what I was talking about earlier. They play it like it's 5-on-5. Oh. Did he just toe pick?
Yeah.
Here we go.
That was almost an insane
so tired,
play.
Though. They have no legs left.
You've got to go, though. Come on, JT.
Huge night for Lecky.
Straight up stole that. No bottom human nonsense tonight.
Huge night for Lecky.
That is great.
What a shot.
Yeah, we have to go do our post-game show.
Yes, Rick Barry, thank you so much, man.
Thanks. Very nice to meet you
Thanks
guys.
to Rick Barry for joining us on the show.
Thank you so much. It was great to meet you.
Very nice to meet you, too.
Get your donations in. If you didn't get them now, they'll be on the post-game. So go join us for that. We'll see you soon.
Wow.
That camera.